With that, we welcome you to the beautiful Ray and B. Dillard Field here in Tigerville, South Carolina for this matchup. The series finale between the North Greenville Crusaders and the Salem University Tigers. Alan Cahaley here alongside with you today. North Greenville, there's no other way to put it. They absolutely dominated yesterday, taking 2 games fairly easily. Salem, after giving up 10 runs in the first inning, put up a good fight, but ultimately did come up short. They gave up 10 runs in that first inning and just couldn't really do much after that in the runs column. But we'll see what they can do. We'll see if they can end this series on a high note. And it looks like I'm going to be joined by Trey Dyson after all. Momentarily, I'm told. And Utah Jones. It's going to be a busy room here in just a moment. We had a senior day presentation just a few moments ago prior to the start of this game. Ethan Garner, one of those seniors, does get the start here in Game 3. Took me a second to find the statistics so far. Here we go. He comes in with a 3-1 record, a 4.76 ERA, 22 2/3 innings pitched, 19 hits allowed, 12 runs, all of them earned. He's only walked 6 and has struck out 21. That's almost a strikeout per inning for him. So not quite the ERA he's looking for, but otherwise has had a fine season. And Trey Dyson joins us now. Trey, what are you expecting in this one?
Well, thank you, Alan. Like you said, it was a really good senior day presentation. And you just mentioned Ethan Garner. Ethan Garner has been a staple here at North Greenville, the longest tenured player. And you mentioned that inflated ERA. He had a rough start last weekend at Mount Olive, but has been one of the most consistent pitchers for North Greenville during the fall, during the preseason, and obviously 230 career innings pitched. He's looking to have a great last home game here today.
Yeah, it's unless there is some postseason play here in Tigerville, which is still possible, this will be Ethan Garner's final appearance here at Ray and B. Dillard Field. So, as you said, Trey, certainly looking to go out in style.
And welcome back, folks. Noah Suarez for Salem steps in against Ethan Garner. We are about to be underway. It is 12:06, which will be the first pitch. Trey Dyson alongside Utah Jones. Here's the first pitch. A little outside for ball one.
Yeah, good to be back, Trey. Just really excited for these seniors today. I feel like it's going to be a good one.
Well, hopefully the broadcast will be good as well. If you are listening at home and you have a question that we may be able to answer for you, please shoot us a tweet at NGU Baseball. Very quality broadcast here for Division II baseball, and we do have a third camera here today, folks, so we are excited about that.
Really good pitch there by Garner. It must just be a little outside as the count goes to 2-1. Looks like he's spotting up pretty well.
It really does. Julius Green, the home plate umpire here today. This time, Garner, the seasoned vet that he is, catches more of the plate and buries it in there for strike two. High and away, 3-2. Salem is starting their best arm today, Dominic Hurol. Very talented arm for Salem. So North Greenville, after scoring 38 runs the first two games of the series, is going to face a test today as Suarez pops out the right, gets under it, one down here in the top of the first.
Good start for Ethan Garner there, just getting the leadoff guy out. Something you always want to do.
Item right, the right fielder, number 1, Austin Earl.
A little cloudy today, Trey. Hopefully the rain stays away.
Little cloudy. The wind, I'm a big wind guy. The wind is still, which is typically good news for North Greenville bats. As Austin Earl steps in. Earl came into this series arguably Salem's best hitter with 3 doubles, 5 home runs. He came in slugging at a .526 clip.
Pretty good swing right there by Earl as he lines a single to left field.
And that'll bring up Alan LaRock. A little bit of a question yesterday as to how to pronounce that name. I said LaRose, and Utah correctly pointed out probably LaRock. Spoke with head coach, Salem head coach JT Heenan before the game, and he confirmed it is LaRock. The catcher today, Earl, is 3 for 3 on the season, stealing bases, but Garner, the seasoned vet that he is, knows how to control the running game.
Would love to see a nice ground ball right here for a double play.
Garner does know how to induce the ground ball. Looked like a little cutter there to get ahead of LaRock.
Something I'm seeing Salem do a lot is when they get to 2 strikes, the batter will look at the dugout and pound on his chest. Seems to be over his heart. Now, what do you think that means, Trey?
Well, I think, obviously, 2 strikes as a hitter, you want to compete, and probably some little cue that they have to kind of pump themselves up a little bit to say, hey, I got this. It's 2 strikes, and you got to love to see that fight.
You do. You do. You got to respect it.
2-strike approach, something big in the game with all these kids throwing 90 plus and with these nasty sliders. I was watching the South Carolina game last night, and these kids are just, some of these pitchers are unbelievable.
Yeah.
Strikeouts are at an all-time high. And the numbers have proved, or at least the sabermetric people out there have proved that, strikeouts are okay if you are driving the baseball. It's about run production. And North Greenville can kind of testify to that a little bit, as that ball is right there on the inner third to strike out LaRock and get a big second out here in the top of the first.
Looks like they're going to toss that ball to the dugout and just keep it for Ethan Gardner as he gets his first strikeout of the day on this very special day for him, senior day.
And on top of that, Utah, Ethan Garner had recently just lost his father, a man who was very instrumental in his life. And you know he is pitching with a heavy heart today. Not only is it senior day, but also with the passing of his father. I can't imagine what he must be going through right now.
Me either, Trey. I mean, that's some of the worst news we had probably ever here in North Greenville. And, you know, everyone's just trying to give Ethan their support, and I know the whole team's got his back, and just a lot of love going out to Ethan Gardner today.
In fact, indeed, I should say. And he is pounding the strike zone like he usually does. There's a reason why this kid has 230 career innings coming into this start.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to, you know, be able to play defense behind Ethan Gardner, and always felt comfortable out there. I love how quick he works. Always, you know, gets back on the mound and gets right at it. And it's just really fun to play defense behind a guy like Ethan Gardner.
Yeah, and he can really tie hitters and knots with that cutter that he has.
Yeah, it's one of his best pitches for sure. And, you know, him and Kulangas have been working on it for years, and he's almost perfected it, I would say.
You could say so. Here comes the 1-2.
Heads up dugout.
And Shin aims for the dugout, his own guys over there. The Salem dugout yesterday, even though they had a really tough day, they seemed very energized from the first pitch till we left here last night around, 9 o'clock?
Yeah, you know, I actually heard a rumor that Coach Heenan has instructed his guys that he wants them to say at least 3 to 5 things per pitch.
Well, we'll see how that pans out for them today. This one is popped out to the first baseman, Jordan Holiday, and Ethan Garner gives up a hit, but that is it. We will head to the bottom of the first with the North Greenville Thunderbats coming up when we return. Welcome back in, everybody, as North Greenville gets set to get their first crack at starting pitcher,
Gary Octavio.
Dominic Hurol, Salem's best pitcher. Octavio, a great leadoff hitter, takes one high and away.
must be difficult pitching to a guy like Octavio in that leadoff spot, Utah.
Absolutely. You know, some people think being short is a little disadvantage, but definitely not in the game of baseball, as it's pretty tough to pitch to the smaller stature of Octavio, and I think he uses it to his advantage a lot of times.
You know, the prototypical leadoff hitter is Garrett Octavio, and this is becoming a dying breed almost, as Octavio slaps this one into center field, and a good start for the Crusader offense. Garrett continues to get on base, one of the league leaders in that category, and also one of the league leaders in stolen bases. I believe he's 14 on the season, 11 or 14. We can find that out for you, folks. We are the broadcasters of that. And here comes senior Ethan Stringer, who participated in Senior Day. Interesting play right there, as Octavio may have had the base stolen. Stringer, a guy who does like to bunt, gets one, lays it down. Octavio on the move, unable to pick it up. And with Stringer's speed, no question about that. That is a hit all day long. Ethan Stringer getting close to 400 again with that batting average.
You know, Trey, something I've noticed about this North Greenville offense is leadoff hitter Octavio, when he gets it going and gets on base to start the game, it seems like they tend to take off.
Well, we shall see, as the three-hole hitter and talented catcher John Michael Fell takes a breaking ball for strike one.
John Michael Fell going with pants up today. Something he hasn't done yet in North Greenville, decided to change it up, and I'm excited to see how it works for him.
He also looks like he switched bats today. Another breaking ball chopped over to third. The third baseman, Jared Johnmeyer, fields it and tags third for the force out. So one away here for North Greenville, as the big man from the Czech Republic, Marek Kluk, steps into the box. Kluk with the home run yesterday, and has been a really good transfer coming in here for Landon Powell and this North Greenville team. Been very productive. What do you like about his game?
You know, something that surprised me about Kloop is his ability to manipulate the barrel. He's a big guy, you know. It seems like you would think he'd be a swing and miss guy, power guy, but he really battles with two strikes, and he's really good at just making contact and hitting line drives up the middle.
That is a great point. We have seen him with a lot of two-strike hits this year. He will get to two strikes a lot, but he will fight with two, and had a really good series against Mount Olive. But you're right. He'll drive the ball when he wants to, it almost appears, but he'll take his base hits along the way.
Absolutely. Let's see if he can pick up some RBIs here to get the Crusaders on the board.
The pass ball allows Ethan Stringer and John Michael Fale to move up 90 feet. And here's that situational hitting that you were talking about yesterday with that runner on third and less than 2 outs. This ball is pretty much down the middle. Kluk hits it through the left side. Stringer will come home, and on the overthrow, left fielder Tyler Shin missed the cutoff man, allowing Marek Kluk to stroll into second base.
Really good heads-up base running there by Kloop. Just seeing that throw out of the hand straight into the air, and he advances to second base and puts himself in scoring position. Another chance to pick up some RBIs with runners on second and third with 1 out for senior Brady West.
Yes, Brady West was joined by his father and mother on the field earlier today. They are big supporters of him in his baseball career. Brady West over 40 career collegiate home runs.
I mean, that is just really impressive.
ball will be taken high, and Brady in a good hitter's count. And look, just looking at this right here early on, good pitcher for Salem, but what do you think's going through his head? I mean, he's got second and third. You got Brady West, who's got 6 home runs on the year. Behind him, Jordan Holiday, another big offensive threat. This lineup has tremendous depth to it and provides a lot of protection for everyone. First base open here, but you got to think Brady West is going to get something to hit.
I was going to mention first base is open. I really feel like they're not going to give Brady too many fastballs in. I think they're going to try to go away from him like they did right there, maybe flip some off-speed stuff. Pitch backwards a little bit, and, you know, if he walks him, you got the double play in order.
Very true, but then again, you've got to contest with the big daddy, the big papa, Jordan Holiday on deck.
I mean, yeah, that's true, but when it comes to North Greenville's lineup, there's not going to be any easy outs anyway.
Pick your poison.
Exactly.
This ball breaks into Brady. Brady West, not sure about that call, but from up here it looked pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it got in there, maybe hit the bottom of the zone. Brady's always a guy that likes to talk to the umpire, kind of figure out his zone, his first AB, and tends to work out for him most of the time.
And Cruel gets Brady West to swing through the 2-strike breaking ball. You can see right there why Cruel's numbers are so good coming into this game. 32 strikeouts in only 21 innings. There's a good breaking pitch right there to get Brady West. And you know Brady's not going to be very happy with that at bat. That runner on third in less than 2, he prides himself on getting that job done.
Yeah, he does. Cost himself some RBIs there. Hopefully he can flush it and not take it to the field. Let's see if teammate Jordan Holiday can pick him up right here.
And that's a strike right there. Garner threw a couple there in the top half of the first and did not get that pitch, so we will see how that pitch is called the rest of the day. Good block right there from catcher Alan LaRock, saving a run.
I will say this, Trey, as you've been out there umpiring with me in the fall during the World Series, there's a lot of pressure. It's not easy.
It's a lot of pressure.
I have a found new respect for umpires around the country.
You are very talented, my friend. Very talented umpire. I pride myself on that type of stuff as well, but I really learned a lot about myself. I'm not nearly as good as I thought I was. Now, you are good.
Well, I appreciate that.
You are very good. Your zone is consistent. You see well. You've got laser-like vision. Jordan Holiday gets a pitch to hit there in a 2-1 count, but skies it into center field. And Salem gets away with only giving up 1 run on the Marik Klub single. So North Greenville leads it 1-0 as we head to the top of the second.
I like digging holes and hiding things inside. When I grow old, I hope I won't forget to find them. 'Cause I've got memories and travel like gypsies in the night. I build a home and wait for someone to tear it down. Then pack it up in boxes, head for the next time. 'Cause I've got memories and travel like gypsies in the night.
Leading off the Tigers, number 2, Brett Graham.
And welcome back, folks. We're here getting it going in the top of the second as I believe Brett Graham, the DH, steps into the box. Garner gets ahead early and throws a fastball in the inner half for strike one. Great play there by shortstop Doug Angeli Jr. as he gets a high chopper and gets rid of it quickly to make the out.
As someone who works with Doug Angeli on a daily basis, what has made him perform so well this year at short?
You know, he got off to a slow start. He's usually the second baseman here in North Greenville, but he moved over to shortstop early in the year. And, well, you know, I think just being there more, practice, getting more reps, his confidence has grown, you know, a bunch. And you can tell his play. He seems more confident out there. He trusts his hands and his arm more, and it's just looked a lot smoother.
Yeah, and I think his throws have gotten a lot more consistent. He's moving really well out there as well.
Obviously, it's a much farther throw than second base, so that adjustment had to take some time, and he made it eventually, and it's been good ever since.
You know, and a good move from head coach Landon Powell. Getting a guy, Landon Powell loves offense, and you can see the numbers that North Greenville puts up on a yearly basis as this slider wipes out Jared Johnmeyer for Garner's second strikeout of the game. And folks, we have replay here. Look at this. Garner.
That's going to bring up number
Cutter or
8,
slider?
Josh Medina.
I believe that was the slider, and it was a good one.
It was a good one. Second strikeout of the game brings up Josh Medina. But going back to Powell loves offense, and he will do everything in his power to get the best offensive lineup out there on the field as that breaking pitch again ties up Medina.
Some would call that a sword right there, Trey.
That is known as a sword by the North Greenville Crusaders, which for those at home, a sword refers to a swing and miss and a
very uncomfortable swing and miss.
An uncomfortable swing and miss, and Garner continues to pour the strikes in on Josh Medina out of Chatsworth, California, the 6', 200-pound sophomore. And going back to Angeli, a catcher arm, and Garner, we will get back to that subject lately. Right now it is the Ethan Garner show as he retires Medina on another strikeout. We will head to the bottom half of the second inning and see you in a moment.
Leading off for the Crusaders, number 7, Douglas Angeli.
And welcome back, everybody, as Douglas Angeli, the shortstop, steps in against the right-hander from Salem, Dominic Kuroll. Takes a fastball on the outer half for a strike. And going back to that last half inning, Ethan Garner, congrats to him, his 200th career strikeout as a Crusader.
How about that? Pretty impressive. Well done, Ethan.
Well done, Ethan, as Angeli falls behind 0-2.
Pretty special to get that 200th on senior day.
Good take right there from Angeli. And first base umpire, Matt Brown. The appeal to him, and he correctly rules a no swing.
Seems like both of these pitchers have their off speeds working pretty well today.
And a good idea right there from Kuhl to see if Angeli would swing and miss. But Angeli does a really good job with 2 strikes. He really sprays it all around the field and has a good 2-strike approach. This one is bounced over to John Meyer at third. He throws it across to Casey Buchanan. So 1 down here in the bottom of the second as the young freshman.
That's going to bring up number 5, Pat Monteith.
His way to the batter's box. Monteith, a really good game 1 yesterday. Really took his first lumps in game 2 as he struck out 3 times and was 0 for 4 on the game.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how he responds, as that's pretty much his first bad game of the year, I'd say. So interesting to see how the young freshman takes that and responds to it today.
Yeah, Monteith, one of the national Division II leaders in walks. He now has 24 on the season. And he always seems to find himself in hitters' counts. Once again, here we go, 2-0 count here for Monteith. Has a lot of power. Has yet to really show that in the games, but he certainly does in the inner squads. That pitch right on the outer half. Good job. Good 2-0 pitch there from Krull. There you see it right there, folks. A 2-1 count. A lot of hitters right there are swinging at that pitch out of the hand, thinking they're going to get a fastball. Monteith has a really good eye out there. He's got great clue beyond his years, really, as a freshman with the at-bats that he is having. This fastball, he got one to hit right there, and he fouls it back. What could he be telling himself right there, Utah?
Probably just not to get too big. Seems like
You think that's what he told himself right there after fouling off that pitch?
I do. I think he just missed it, and I think it's because he took too big of a swing right here. 2 strikes. Thinks he needs to shorten up a little bit.
This 3-2 is off the fist out to Josh Medina at second base. And
That's going to bring up number 19,
Kuhl,
Josh
after
Center.
a really shaky start, has retired the last few Crusaders and has 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. North Greenville could have really put him on the ropes early, getting those first 2 runners on base with their best hitter, John Michael Phil, at the plate, but he's done a nice job bouncing back.
Yeah, that's been something big for North Greenville this year, is taking advantage of opportunities. And the games that they have lost, they haven't been able to do so.
Josh Center smokes one over to John Meyer at third, who picks it up, fires over to Buchanan, and a 1-2-3 inning for Salem. North Greenville, after 2, leads it 1-0. We will be back.
Spread yourself. Spread yourself. You don't never need help from nobody else. All you got to do now, spread yourself. Whatever you do, do it good. Whatever you do, Lord, Lord. Do it good. Oh yeah. It's not what you look like when you do it. What you're doing is what you're doing when you're doing what you look like you're doing. Express yourself. Express yourself.
Leading off for the Tigers, number 14, Dalton Robinson.
Welcome back, folks, as shortstop Dalton Robinson leads off for the Salem in the top of the third inning. Garner gets it going again with strike one.
Yeah, he's really pounding the strike zone here early for North Greenville. His 200th career strikeout, as we mentioned earlier, and an 0-2 count to Dalton Robinson. Robinson, 0-2 count. Garner's done a nice job with his off-speed in this count. And this time he tries for the cutter, I believe. Misses on the outer half. What's coming here, Utah?
I think he's going to throw that slider. You know, he had 2
see.
Ks with it last inning, and it looks like it's working really well for him.
Well, he did try it, and Robinson does a good job fouling it off, giving himself another opportunity here. Salem came into the series hitting $170 on the year, which
Not really what you want as an offense.
not really what you want, but they had only played 17 games coming in, and I think he went.
Definitely swung right there.
Another strikeout for Ethan Garner here in the top of the third. But going back to Salem, they came in with a not such a great offense.
Up to the plate, number 20,
First-year
Casey
coaching staff
Buchanan.
over there trying to put the program on the map. Got a lot of good energy, young, talented coaches, and they banged out 9 or 10 hits that first game.
Yeah, offensively they looked really good yesterday. They were aggressive, and they got their pitch and they hit it pretty well.
And Casey Buchanan in the 9-hole might be a little surprising. He took some really good swings yesterday, and he finds himself on base
That'll bring back up the
again.
top of the order,
with
number
that hit by
19,
pitch.
center fielder Noah Suarez.
We'll bring up Noah Suarez, the leadoff hitter. Suarez flied out to Marek Kloop last at bat, as this cutter is poured in there for a strike. It almost looks like Ethan Garner's playing a video game at times.
Seems pretty easy for him out there.
It really does. He's got that long, flowing motion. He really does a good job of mixing his whole times. Brady West back there, his battery mate, the senior catcher, getting the start on senior day. Brady, another versatile member of this team, plays multiple positions. Along with Jax Cash, Brady West and Jax Cash, they've really done a nice job backing up John Michael Fail this year.
Yeah, always a comfortable feeling to have just plenty of catchers to put back there at any time and feel good about it. He can also play first and usually DHs for the Crusaders.
And this ball rides in on Suarez, so a good swing and miss on the inner half to a righty. When you can get swings and misses on the inner half and, of course, with those off-speed pitches away, you know you got some good stuff. Here comes the 2-2 to Suarez. He waits on it and flips it over onto the groundhog hill.
The grassy knoll, some would call it.
Grassy knoll, the groundhog hill. Hard to find the ball over there sometimes.
It does hide in that grass.
Another foul ball.
You know, Suarez had some good at-bats yesterday, too. Seemed like he got down to 2 strikes most of his at-bats and just battled, and I think he got on base 3 or 4 times.
Well, he is an older player. He's had a lot of college at-bats, I believe. He is an outfielder, right-handed pitcher for Salem out of Newton Falls, Ohio. This ball's chopped out to Angeli at short. Over to Octavio for 1. The speedy Suarez beats out the double play.
Tell you what, that would have been an impressive turn right there by the middle infielders.
the good thing there, he gets the lead out
Now
as
batting
we
the
see
right
the
fielder,
replay
number
right
1,
here. And
Austin Earl.
Octavio, normally an outfielder, has moved to second base this season. We talked about Angeli getting into the lineup at shortstop for offensive purposes, and Octavio has done a phenomenal job at second base.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Octavio as he is a natural outfielder. Said he played a little second base in high school, not much, but it's impressive to see how natural the position is for him.
Another second baseman out of Hawaii in the big leagues that I can think of off the top of my head, Colton Wong. Yes.
Great player.
Great player, left-handed batter just like Octavio. I think we have had a conversation or two about him.
Pretty good player comparison there, Trey.
Well, I try. As Austin Earl fouls that one away. Earl with the lone hit for Salem here in the top of the third as he hit a line drive into left field in his first at-bat. Salem came into the series with 13 stolen bases on the year. Buchanan has not attempted a stolen base this year. 2-1 count here for the best power hitter for Salem. And a good little cutter there. Cutter or slider?
I think that was a cutter there.
Cutter there.
Buchanan might haven't stolen a base yet, but my man Suarez sure has.
Thank you for that, Noah Suarez, and to your family, I do apologize. Suarez, a speedy runner over there at first base. And
There's the slider.
Continues to dominate with that 3-pitch mix. Another strikeout, and North Greenville is cruising as we take you out to break with another beautiful strikeout from the senior.
Leading off the Crusaders, number 1, Gary Octavio.
Welcome back in to Tigerville. Garrick Octavio, leadoff hitter, 1-for-1, steps in against Dominic Curol. We talked about it in last night's broadcast, but Garrick Octavio was surprised yesterday. Utah, tell the viewers about it.
I mean, just an awesome moment here at North Greenville as Garrick, who's from Hawaii, hasn't seen his family, I think, since he's been at school, so it's been 6 or 7 months. They decided to fly down and surprise Garrick, and as he was standing there in the huddle with the team, Landon Powell surprised him. His parents walked on the field, and it was a very touching, very sincere moment as he rips a ball in the left center gap that's going to get down and roll all the way to the wall. Octavio's going to round safe. He's going to go for third. Let's see if he can get a leadoff triple, and he slides in there safely.
Just a dynamic player, Garrick Octavio. So that is the conference leading 10th triple of the season for North Greenville. The table setter, Garrick Octavio, comes through again, and I'm sure his parents are happy to see that.
How about this from Octavio? Mount Olive last weekend makes a diving play at second base, dislocates his pinky, and it looks bad. It's not a pretty sight. Runs to the foul line, trainer Eli comes out, pops it back in place, and he gets right back at second base, right back in the game. What a tough kid from Octavio.
Very tough indeed. You're right, and that came early in that Mount Olive series as Stringer wastes no time, grounding one back up the middle to score the human run-scoring machine, Garrick Octavio. Good piece of hitting right there from Stringer, wasting no time, not being too picky. Get that runner home from third, and he did.
John Michael Fail.
Yeah, but going back to Octavio, you're right, broke his finger, completely dislocated. The team trainer, Eli, runs out on the field, pops it back in. The rest is history, really, as Octavio had his best series of the year against the really good Mount Olive pitching as the speedy Stringer takes off. And not sure what's going on.
I think they're saying he's blocking the bag. They're going to call Stringer safe.
And rightfully so. That is Matt Brown out there, who is actually a professional umpire. He will be leaving shortly to go to spring training himself, and JT Heenan is not too pleased with that call. But Stringer with his 12th or 13th stolen base on the season. I think he's a perfect 13 for 13.
You know, back to Octavio's dislocated finger, you know what it reminded me of, Trey? When Kobe Bryant dislocated his finger in the game, walked to the sideline, got it popped back in place, and went right back at it.
That is, I do remember that now. That was a great moment. Kobe Bryant, all-time competitor. This world lost a good one in him, but that was a good game. And for my generation, I guess the thing that we can recall back to for that type of special moment, you know, an athlete being super tough would be the Michael Jordan flu game.
The flu game.
Familiar with that?
You know, I am now because of his recent documentary.
Yes.
What was that called again? The Last Dance?
Dance.
Correct. Yeah, you know, I mean, I watched that with my dad right when it came out and learned a lot of things I didn't know necessarily about Michael Jordan. And
let me ask you this. When I was about your age, young man, I used to get annoyed whenever my dad or older people would start talking about the greatest athletes of all time. Like Michael Jordan, I'm sure you heard that your whole life, like was the best ever by far, but what do you think about that when you hear that?
It did annoy me. You know, I'm right there with you. My dad's a big Michael Jordan advocate and, you know, could get annoying at some times. But after watching that documentary, Last Anthem, I mean, I got no argument there.
My dad was a huge Jim Brown fan. Are you familiar with who Jim Brown
The running back?
is? Yes, Jim Brown. And I was a huge Barry Sanders fan.
Oklahoma State, go Pokes.
Well, good for you, Utah. A man wise beyond your years. This ball is thrown right in there for John Michael Fail, and he is just a little off this series.
You know, it seems like he's just missing pitches, and you can tell he's getting frustrated up there.
And fouled away. John Mike, that's probably a ball, but you will see John Mike flick off those pitches.
He will. You know, John Michael Fail, close friend of mine, actually a roommate of mine, lived with him. Talked to him last night, and he told me he was going to change some things up, being a little superstitious. Didn't have the best day yesterday. As you can tell today, he went with the high pants. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Care to try a reverse superstition?
Little reverse broadcaster jinx?
Yeah, reverse broadcaster jinx, I think you called it yesterday.
Yeah, well, John Mike has not hit a home run yet this series. Let's see if that gets it done.
Okay. Or we'll cover both sides of it. He hits a lot of home runs.
He does. I think he has 9 on the year.
Here comes the pitch, and another good 2-strike pitch from Crew Roll. Gets the super talented John Michael Fail, and his struggles continue. Yeah, John Mike does have 9 on the year. The Conference Carolina leaders, Levon Reynoso from Erskine, I believe has 11 or 12, but coming into today's game, Reynoso has 53 hits on the season. He's hitting over 500 midway through the year.
I mean, those are video game numbers, Trey. We played them our second or third weekend of the year, and to see him hit in person was just very impressive. You know, back to John Mike, Trey, I think that's been his Achilles heel this year, is just chasing pitches out of the zone.
And as the hitting coach, I must say, I've got to do a better job.
We'll have a talk with him for sure.
Mark Kloop, 1 for 1, an RBI single through the left side. His first at bat. Salem is deciding to shift this time against Kloop, as the shortstop Dalton Robeson has moved a couple steps to the third baseman, and the second baseman is playing behind the bag. You know that's my favorite position in a right-handed shift.
Yeah, Trey, definitely a big shift advocate. Let's see if it pays off for Salem here. Just a nice, easy ground ball to second will get it done for the Crusaders.
Comes the pitch. Kloop smokes it down the left field line. Another extra base hit for the Crusaders and another RBI, a big RBI, bringing in Ethan Stringer here in the bottom of the third to make it a 3-0 ball game.
Tell you what, Trey, the shift really didn't matter there for Mata Kloop as he hits it right by him down the left field line for a RBI double.
And that stolen base pays off there for Ethan Stringer. That is a double, but probably not a ball that Stringer would score on if he did not steal that base.
Correct. I believe it hit something down the line, a post on the fence or something, and kicked straight right into the left fielder.
And Brady West, the senior, steps into the box. A tough first at bat. Struck out by a good pitch from Dominic Cruel and a 2-strike count. He got Brady to chase a ball in the dirt.
Yeah, he chased a couple of those curveballs in the dirt. Let's see if he can make the adjustment.
Brady West, the guy who prides himself on driving in runs for this North Greenville team, and Landon Powell loves having him in the lineup as Kloop takes off for third, and that one right there is stolen off the pitcher. Kloop, a big guy, but don't sleep on him on the bases, a guy who can really steal some bags.
Sneaky fast, Mata Kloop is. Very sneaky fast. I think that's his 5th or 6th stolen base on the year.
I believe coming into today, I believe North Greenville and Emmanuel were actually tied for the conference lead in stolen bases. But
well, we're off to a good start to take the lead.
Indeed.
Salem's going to bring the infield in here, try to get this run out at home. Brady West with another opportunity here with a guy on third, less than 2. Let's see if he gets it done this time.
3-0 count. Landon Powell, very aggressive offensive coach, is not afraid to give his hitters, especially those he trusts the most, his older guys, the green light in this situation.
Yeah, veteran hitter, senior Brady West. Wouldn't be surprised to see him swing away.
And he does! The green light. That ball is spanked through the right side of the infield. Probably gets through regardless of whether the infield is in or not, but another RBI for Brady West.
Yeah, second baseman had a weird jump on that ball. Looked like it almost broke his ankles a little bit.
Well, March Madness is here, and it's here for baseball season as well.
A lot of big games today, Trey. Who do you got? Any upsets today?
Well, is Baylor still playing?
Yeah, they play Villanova today.
I'm going Baylor.
Absolutely.
Baylor all the way.
Baylor all the way.
Big Daddy Holiday, Jordan Holiday, steps into the box. Flew out last at bat. Had a really good day at the plate in game 1 yesterday. Nice stop back there by the catcher, Alan LaRock.
We talked about Madik Kloop being sneaky fast. Another guy that you can't sleep on is Brady West. He's stolen some bags in his career at North Greenville. Let's see if Landon gives him the green light.
And the self-proclaimed best base runner on the team, Brady West. That time Jordan Holiday kind of reaching for a pitch out away from him. You'd like to see him maybe wait for a better pitch to hit in a 1-0 count.
Yeah, absolutely. Third base coach Hunter Dilworth. Wish you guys could see it on the live stream. He takes pride in trying to field every foul ball his way. Just misses that one. He's going to have to get back to work.
Comes the 1-1 to Holiday. Up, and another hitter's count upcoming for Jordan Holiday. But you're right, not only does North Greenville lead Conference Carolinas in pretty much every major statistical category, but they also lead in plays made by the first and third base coaches.
Yeah, got some sure-handed coaches over there down the lines.
Jordan got a pretty good pitch to hit right there, but fouls it off in a 2-2 count. 2 strikes with this guy on the mound certainly will put the hitters in an uncomfortable situation. Jordan does a good job of spoiling that one.
Trey, we made our coaching debut yesterday as we were allowed to coach third and first there in the 9th of the first game, and wouldn't you know it, we put up 3 runs.
We did. You know, we have great chemistry. From the day I met you, I knew I liked you. And it's no surprise. One time out there on the field, coaching first and third, you know, putting the right signs on and getting 3 runs. This ball is down and away. Brady West, the self-proclaimed best base runner on the team, belly flops into second base.
Folks, I hope we get a replay on this one. This would be hilarious.
And you can see Coach Landon Powell in his spot in the dugout having a chuckle at that one along with freshman Jax Cash.
You know, if you proclaim yourself the best base runner on the team, you got to have a better slide than that.
He had a good slide into home yesterday. I'll give him that. But
Brady, great dirt ball read, but we'll work on the slide in practice next week.
Here comes the 3-2 to Holiday. With now a runner in scoring position, this ball's hit out to the shortstop. West, a quick read off the bat, goes over to third. But a nice play from Dalton Robeson to get Jordan Holiday.
You know, we talk about it in practice, Trey, there's 7 ways to advance as a base runner from second to third, and Brady with a great read right there, ground ball right at the shortstop. Didn't hesitate, took off right away. Good job, Brady West.
And that is important, as Cruel has thrown a lot of pitches in the dirt. He likes to try to get the hitters to go there, especially with 2 strikes. So good job of West getting to third base, and that brings up Doug Angeli. He gets a fastball right there to hit, skies it into right field, and Austin Earl comes down with it. But a good inning for North Greenville as they score 3 runs and now lead 4-0. We will be back.
Everyone falls down sometime, but you just gotta know it.
And welcome back to beautiful Tigerville, South Carolina, Ray and B. Dillard Field as we head to the top of the fourth. Starting pitcher Ethan Garner's day is done. Tremendous start for him on senior day. Ethan Garner came into this game pitching, having 230 career innings under his belt. He recorded his 200th strikeout as a Crusader, pounded the strike zone, and got his team off to a great start. Now on the mound, you see another senior by way of the University of Georgia. Christian Ryder is making his senior day appearance. Tell us about Christian, Utah.
Christian Ryder, we were lucky enough to get him in the booth yesterday for a quick interview. I think you guys learned some things about him, but again, just a great teammate, great person, great friend. Very creative mind, as I think he wants to go out to Hollywood and try to produce, a little TV, maybe direct a movie or so. He definitely has the talent for it. Love working with him. He's been, the background for the good coach, bad coach videos. He's done a lot of good work there. Just a real fun guy.
He is a broadcast media major. Has really good stuff. He's gonna pitch kind of similarly to Ethan Garner. He has a good cutter, a changeup. He also has an eephus pitch that we might see here today. This one on the inner part of the plate, Brady West unable to come up with it, and that will be ball one to the catcher, Alan LaRock. This one is right in there for a strike, and there's a line drive for LaRock. That will be Salem's second hit on the afternoon. Good swing right there from LaRock. Salem gets the leadoff runner on.
Christian Ryder, known to get a lot of ground balls, would be a clutch pitch right here to get a ground ball to somewhere in the infield, get a double play. Pretty good spot there. Cutter outside, just missed. Good take by the hitter.
Tyler Shin, the left fielder. That one poured in there for a strike to even the count at 1-1. Shin out of Woolwich Township, New Jersey. Here comes the 1-1. That breaking ball floated in for a ball, 2-1.
Christian Ryder, really good changeup. Not afraid to throw it right on right.
Great crowd on hand today for senior day. This one blown past the cleanup hitter, Tyler Shin. Shin is a freshman, 6'3", 195. Good baseball body. Catcher and an outfielder. A lot of these players for Salem do play multiple positions, and a lot of them pitch as well.
Yeah, I think we had 4 or 5 Salem players that pitched and played a position yesterday.
And Shin does a good job spoiling off that 2-2 breaking ball from Christian Ryder.
Folks, if you're keeping track at home, the score on coaches fielding foul balls is 1-0 Salem. We're going to have to talk to Hunter Dilworth and Ryan Brown and get that back in North Greenville's favor.
We will keep a track of that for you at home. And we mentioned it before, but if you have a question you would like to ask, hit us up at NGU Baseball on Twitter. A good pitch right there from Christian Ryder. Not sure, was that his slider maybe?
Yeah, I believe it was. Really good spot, good location. Not much the hitter could have done with that one.
And we are pleased to bring you replays today. You see it right there. Good strikeout from Christian Ryder.
Number 5, Connor Kelly.
Ryder features a size 16 shoe, the largest foot on the team. He was joined on senior day by his parents, Rhonda and Scott Ryder. So you know they are enjoying watching him play today.
Pinch hitter already for Salem as Connor Kelly is going to take over in the DH spot for Brett Graham. Speaking of two-way guys, Connor Kelly's one of them. Pitched, I think he threw an inning yesterday in game 1, I believe.
Yeah, I think he had a tough outing, but credit to him getting back up. Today's a new day.
Absolutely. That's a good thing about baseball. You get the next day to get right back at it. Short-term memory can be used to anybody's advantage.
As Kelly fouls this one back in a 1-0 count, Ryder evens it up at 1-1. But yeah, JT Heenan not waiting around today. Already down by 4. He's going to try to mix up the lineup here. Good stop right there by senior catcher Brady West.
I don't blame Coach Heenan for making this move. You know, historically, it's very tough to beat North Greenville when they're at home defending their home turf. I don't quite know the stats, but I know it's somewhere in the single digits, the loss number, and the wins are out of this world. So Heenan just pulling all the strings here, trying to see if he can sneak one out of the Crusaders.
Yeah, even with the really tough losses yesterday by Salem, you know that they probably were feeling pretty good about today with their ace on the mound. He's pitched well, but the North Greenville offense has done a nice job to be able to score 4 runs through the first 3 innings.
Yeah, you know they say hitting is contagious, and last inning I think the Crusaders caught a little bit of the flu, scoring 3 runs on back-to-back-to-back knocks.
This one is flied out to right. Kloop drifts over to the foul line to catch it for out number 2. So Ryder has a chance here to escape that leadoff single to try to pitch around it.
37, Jared Johnmeyer.
As Jared Johnmeyer steps in, 0 for 1 on the day, but has played a really good third base.
Yeah, he has. He's made 3 or 4 plays over there. He's looked really good. Let's see if Ryder can work around that leadoff single and get the Crusaders back in the dugout.
Looking good there as he gets ahead, 0-1. Ryder was a 3-time SEC Academic Honor Roll recipient while he was at Georgia. He was also an all-conference pitcher for North Greenville last year. He was voted the best hips on the pitching staff.
You know, he's a man of many talents. Not only can he throw the rock a little bit, he's great in the classroom, but he can also sing. You know, we've heard him on the bus, little bus karaoke. He's got a really, really good voice.
This one chopped out to Monty, who fires it across to Jordan Holiday, and Christian Ryder, the multi-talented Christian Ryder, pitches around the leadoff single to retire the side here in the top of the 4th. We will be back after these messages.
Leading off the Crusaders, number 5, Pat Monty.
Welcome back, folks, to Ray and B Dillard Field. We bring you the bottom of the fourth as Pat Monteith steps in the box.
Monteith gets the first pitch and laces it out to left field for a base hit. Monteith is now 1 for 2 on the day and continues to get on base.
Yeah, it's good to see Monteith get a hit right there after the tough game 2 he had. Good to see the young kid respond.
Monteith, a guy, his teammates love him. He is a freshman, and responsibilities come along with being a freshman here at North Greenville. He is the first one usually to set up the field. He's always doing stuff to help his teammates. Never has to be asked. He just does it. And he has earned his way into the starting lineup. His center lays down a bunt right there. LaRock, nice little play from the catching position that will be scored as a sacrifice if you are scoring at home. Moves over Monty to second base, and the hot-hitting Garrick Octavio steps into the box, 2 for 2 already on the day. We mentioned his parents came in from Hawaii to surprise him this weekend, and you know they are enjoying watching their son play.
You know, Trey, I'm going to use this time to give a quick shout-out to a good friend of mine, Jeffrey Chandler Jr. Folks, if you've been around North Greenville sports for the last couple years and you've heard of the best catch ever made, hold on.
Line drive out to center field. This time it does not fall for Octavio. Go ahead, Utah.
Again, dear friend of mine, Jeffrey Chandler Jr., played with him for 2 years here at North Greenville. He's back in Cali doing his thing, coaching him up, but again, conference tournament against Erskine, dives over the fence into the bullpen. Sports Center #1 play. Incredible. Jeffrey, we miss you, bub.
Yes, I got a chance to meet Jeffrey at the alumni golf tournament, and certainly beloved by his teammates at his time here in North Greenville, and that tremendous play that was on Sports Center Top 10, as you just said. Stringer coming in this time. Maybe a all-speed pitch there from Dominic Curol. Gets Stringer to swing through it.
Stringer's having himself a good day. 2 for 2 with an RBI. Senior day as well for the Louisville transfer. You know, I actually played with Ethan Stringer my senior summer of high school in Ohio, where Stringer's from, with the Midland Redskins.
Good stop there from LaRock. Yeah, Stringer is a dynamic player, a 5-tool player. He's already got a couple of stolen bases on the day. Good outfielder, can really play any outfield position. And I believe he does have another year of eligibility. And you know that we would certainly love to have him back. This time it's a breaking ball. Stringer does a good job waiting on it. Hunter Dilworth with the aggressive send home to Pat Monteith, and he got in there.
Wow, what a call by third base coach Hunter Dilworth. We're going to see the replay right here, folks.
And you see, if we saw that again, you can see Dilworth not too pleased with his decision. I think Monteith may have slowed down coming around third. Dilworth wanted him to continue, and you saw Dilworth right there throw the head back in frustration, either thinking he made the wrong call or not satisfied with Monteith slowing down.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he did hesitate coming to third. You know, the play was in front of him, so I don't think Monteith believed Dilworth was going to send him there, but, you know, you got to always think you're scoring until they stop you.
Indeed you do, and that's one thing that I love about our first base coaches here at North Greenville. They are super aggressive. Hunter Dilworth with the aggressive call. Hey, you're up 4-0. Why not take a risk right there?
Absolutely.
But base running has been a bugaboo at times for North Greenville.
Yes, it has. One of our Achilles heel here at North Greenville. We tend to get ourselves out on the bases quite a few times. We're working on it every single day, just trying to get better. Now, Trey, back to that plate. Obviously, the catcher bobbled the ball, allowing Monteith to score. Do you think he slid in there, though?
I really do. I think that home plate umpire Julius Green, I think he was going to bang him.
I agree.
Okay?
It looked like he was
gonna
set
bang
up
him,
like that.
But I thought that Monteith and a super athletic Monteith, I felt like he got that right hand in there.
If we went to replay review and slowed time down, I really believe he got his hand in there. Regardless, run scored. RBI, single, Ethan Stringer. 3 for 3 now on the day.
3 for 3. Stringer has made an adjustment there. Sat back on that off-speed pitch enough to knock it down the third base line.
Yeah, almost a really good play over there as we spoke on the sure-handed third baseman. Just couldn't get enough of it.
Yeah, John Meyer has played a really good third base.
Actually made a really good throw home as well.
He did. John Michael Fail looks to be a little bit more in control this at-bat so far. Finds himself in a 2-0 count. 2 outs, first base open.
Now, as dynamic of a runner as Ethan Stringer is, with 2 outs here, John Mike, arguably one of the best hitters in D2 baseball, do you go with your aggressive nature and try to get Stringer to third?
Well, I think that's going to... Stringer, a very smart player, probably not going to take a shot here with John Mike up.
I'd have to agree with you there.
He really knows the game well. He knows that he is hitting in front of arguably the best hitter in all of Division II baseball, John Michael Fail. And he's really taken advantage of it this year with his offensive numbers. Power numbers may not be where he wants them, but he is certainly hitting the ball well. This 3-0 pitch belted high and deep to right center field. That is the John Michael Fail that friends, fans, and teammates have come to love. That ball is blasted for a 2-run home run to put North Greenville up 7-0.
Like we said, John Mike's last AB, the old reverse broadcast jinx. You can never doubt it. It's going to come around his next at-bat. Wow, what a swing there by John Mike, and just good to see the guy get his 10th home run of the year.
Indeed it is. And you see right there, John Michael Fail has power to all fields. You could tell on that 2-0 pitch, the way he took that pitch, I felt pretty good. He didn't go lunging out there at it, and that one, he saw the ball, and really, if he can just put the bat on it.
Tremendous power.
Tremendous power to all fields. This ball is smoked. Marek Kloop off the bat. He knew it right away, and heads up Dorms. This one's headed for the Dorms, and Marek Kloop goes big fly. Back-to-back home runs here for North Greenville in the bottom of the fourth.
Marek Kloop sending one over the left field wall. Jordan, 96-97. Some would call that back-to-back for the younger generation. The Drake song, back-to-back. How about that? John Michael Fail and Marek Kloop back-to-back home runs here in the bottom of the fourth.
And both of them get to don the Crusader helmet, something that has become a tradition here at North Greenville. Can you tell us more about the hat?
I can't. I think someone found it at a Goodwill or a Ross or one of those types of stores, and obviously fit the Crusaders very well, as it seems like a Crusader helmet. Brought it into the field, I believe, my junior year here, and I will say it's a little painful to put on. It's not the safest helmet there.
I think that Landon Powell made some adjustments to that. Possibly Dawson Price.
That is true.
Senior infielder Dawson Price, I believe, did some work on that helmet this year. Price, a kid who's gotten aboard that helmet several times at his career here at North Greenville. Made it maybe a bit more comfortable than you might remember.
It might be. That kudos to Dawson Price. Now, Marek Kloop, that's 2 home runs in 2 days for the transfer from NC State out of Czech Republic. Marek Kloop can really swing it, as we talked about. Tremendous power to all parts of the field. Not only back-to-back home runs, but back-to-back pitches, Trey. Very exciting here for the Crusaders.
And Brady West is wanting to get in on the action as well. A little aggressive in there, as John Mike, we could see, was very cool, calm, and collected that at-bat. You could see Brady a little jumpy in there so far this at-bat. And Brady has been stuck on runs for a couple weeks now.
Yeah, he's slowed down a little bit, but, it looks like he's getting more comfortable every pitch.
But right there, I've been there, done that many a times. You see your teammates go back-to-back. You, a power hitter, you want so badly to make it back-to-back. And that pitch a little middle away. We know how good of an opposite field hitter he is, but you could tell that he had pull on his mind with that swing.
Absolutely, and I mean, can you blame him? I would love to hit back-to-back as well. You know, I got a really weird feeling we're going to flip a curveball in here, and Brady's going to take it over by the scoreboard.
Here comes the pitch, and it is an off-speed pitch. LaRock has a hard time coming up with it. Does stop it, though, and Q-Roll gets another strikeout. And credit to Alan the Rope, the catcher. So we see it again. Bounces out of there nicely to retire Brady West via the strikeout. But not before. North Greenville puts up 4 runs on 2 big bombs by John Michael Fail and Marek Kloop. North Greenville leads 8-0 as we head to the 5th. And welcome back, folks, to Tigerville, South Carolina. This inning, the 5th inning, is brought to you by all the wonderful parents and family and friends that have come to celebrate Senior Day with the North Greenville seniors, as today is a day of celebration, celebrating all the players who are graduating for North Greenville, and we are in for a treat. Starting pitcher and senior Ethan Garner is joining us in the booth. Ethan, how are you, sir?
Good, Trey, man. Happy to be here.
We are super excited to have you. Starting pitcher, 3 innings, 5 or 6 strikeouts at least. You had everything working today. How did it feel out there?
Felt good. Felt good to get out there and have a good day, especially I didn't want to let the rest of the seniors down. Yeah, it's always nice to have a good day.
So, Garner, you have been at North Greenville since 2016. You're graduating. You got your undergrad in business administration, and you've already earned your MBA?
Yes, sir.
All right, tell us a little bit about what makes North Greenville. This ball from Medina is hit well into left field. That ball is off the wall. Stringer with the attempt, but Ryder gives up a double there. But tell us about your time here and what's made it special here at North Greenville for you.
I think the main thing, other than baseball, that attracted me to North Greenville was just the size of the school. I'm not one for big groups of people, and I think having a smaller school makes it a lot easier, especially in the classroom. Since you have smaller classes, you got more attention, and the professors definitely make it easy to work with them. as far as academics go. So I think that plays a lot to why coming to North Greenville would be a good choice.
Well, and you know that the coaching staff obviously love to have you. A starter really since you came in here, the conference freshman of the year, and to be able to graduate not only with an undergrad but with an MBA, that's awesome. Congrats to you, a 4-time all-conference player and a 5-time academic all-conference performer, Ethan Garner. Congrats, sir.
Thank you very much, Trey.
You're not leaving. You're staying here.
Cool,
You're
let's go.
staying here.
We can do this all day.
How about this? I'm sure that your buddy Christian Ryder and your teammates have already alerted you of this, but your 200th strikeout, how did that feel? Did you even know?
I did, and the only reason I know is because we were having to look up stats for the senior day stuff. And so, yeah, I was looking at it, saw 199. So coming in, my goal was no runs, 1 strikeout.
And Ethan was joined by his mother, Brandy, and his girlfriend, Katie. I know it felt good to have them here today.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I always love to see my mama. Anytime I can be around her, she's a lot of energy. And, of course, yeah, love to have my girlfriend there. She's helped me through a lot, especially recently. And, yeah, it was nice to have both of them out there with me.
Yeah, we mentioned it on the broadcast earlier. And, man, what an outing from you. I know that you had a lot of emotion out there, and you know how much everyone loves you here at North Greenville as a teammate. I talked with you the other day about that situation, and I think, you know, you're doing a great job, and everyone's thinking about you, everyone's praying for you, and what a way to kind of come out here today on a very special, emotional day and to pitch the way that you did.
Appreciate that. Yes, sir.
230 innings pitched coming into today for Garner. With a 24-6 record. What do you think? You know, you were pouring that cutter in there today, and it looked like you were using your slider maybe a little bit more than normal.
Slider was there today, that's for sure. Yeah, had a little more. I feel like I had a little more loose, little whip to my arm today. It let me be a little later with the slider. Had a little more late action to it. I think threw him off.
I think it did. These hitters for Salem, they did not come into this series with the greatest numbers overall, but they proved yesterday they're a feisty little team. They banged out 9 or 10 hits that first game, so they had their ace on the mound today, and you obviously pitched like the ace that you are. 24 wins, so I'm assuming if the score holds up that you would get your 25th win here today. That's a lot of wins, my friend.
If Tucker Burgess is out there listening, I'm just trying to get like Tucker, so I've got a little ways to go if I want to match him. But yeah, it was nice having a career trying to work my way to be a guy like that.
Yeah, Tucker Burgess, Mr. North Greenville baseball.
Oh yeah. You'll hear about him. If you come to North Greenville, you hear about this man for decades probably.
And one of the things that you put down, I think some people are going to be talking about you as well, my friend. You said that one of your favorite NGU memories was getting to know and hang out with your hundreds of NGU teammates. So tell the folks at home, how many years have you actually been at North Greenville?
This is my 6th year. At the end of this semester, I'll be here for 12 semesters.
So probably close to at least 100 teammates.
Yeah, I'd guess probably over. But yeah, getting to know like some of the people I've gotten to meet here are going to be friends for the rest of my life. Some of the guys that I've met just for 1 year, I still talk to.
That's kind of the beautiful thing about baseball. You'll have those relationships for life.
Oh, it's great. Yeah,
and
sure.
Especially a winning program. As the listeners at home may know, the coaching staff here, myself, Landon Powell, the head coach, John Kootlangus, we all played together at the University of South Carolina. We had a great time, and when you're on winning teams like you have been on for a long time, it can kind of create a special type bond with your teammates where, you know, still to this day, we're great friends with our college teammates, and I'm sure for you.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's what's given us our success is the fact that we have that camaraderie and that it's not we're coming out here and we're like forced to be around each other, but we love to be around each other. And I think, the stronger your team is, like personally and like your relationships as teammates, I think the better your team overall will be when you get on the field.
Now, tell us a little bit about your high school career. You played football as well.
I did, yes, sir.
And quarterback? You have a hose.
I was a left tackle until
Really?
my senior year. I lost about 70 pounds, and they put me at tight end.
And your brother? How old is your brother playing football?
My brother is a junior in college. He plays at Reinhardt University in Georgia, and yes, he's actually playing in West Virginia right now. So yeah, I hope he's doing well. He actually caught his first touchdown in his whole life last weekend.
Well, congrats to him.
Shout out, got to give him a shout out for that.
Okay, well, how about we want to be clean here for sure, but any good stories that you can share, or a memorable story that you can share?
Oh man,
Just one. You want to think about it for a while?
yeah, I might have to take a second to think about that if you want me to keep it clean, because we got a rowdy bunch out here.
It is a rowdy bunch indeed, but a bunch of good kids. As Buchanan slices one down the left field line, the talented left-handed hitter for Salem is going to drive in the first run of the day. And that is kind of what we were talking about. The Salem team, not the maybe not the most feared offense in JT Heenan's first year, but he is going to get these players in here, and they are fighting and competing. And North Greenville, who I don't know if you know this, Ethan, but North Greenville was leading the country in shutouts.
I believe it, yeah.
This day was shaping up to possibly be one with your start, and last night was certainly an opportunity, but Salem was able to push a run across in all three games so far.
They big contact team, and yeah, they're not necessarily hitting with tons of power, but they definitely can get the bat on the ball. And after the first game, that was pretty clear. It's definitely guys you got to respect up there when you're pitching.
Christian Ryder, he's a friend of yours.
Yep, he's my roommate.
Tell us a little bit about him.
Absolute character. One of the most interesting people I think I've met in probably my life, honestly.
Pretty creative guy. He's certainly, I think, don't you help out with the Twitter as well?
I throw in some ideas every once in a while when I'm hanging around, but I can't take any credit from the Twitter. That's all his genius.
At NGU Baseball is where you will find us.
Yeah, if you're looking for a nice, entertaining update of a game, NGU Baseball Twitter is a great page to follow.
Yeah. And how about the broadcast today? I don't know. Hopefully you'll be able to watch it later to watch your brilliant performance on the mound, but we have replays today.
Oh, wow.
And I believe they had a third camera working. The production team worked all night to get this in place. And a big shout out to Will Cahaley and Alan Cahaley, who are producing and directing this broadcast. So big thanks to them.
Yeah, big shout out to Alan. That's my guy. He's been doing our statistics here for at least probably 4 years, and great guy. Love having that guy around.
Indeed, there's a bunch of really good folks who work at this university, and it's no wonder that North Greenville is enjoying the success that it has on the baseball field for sure, and in the classroom.
Oh yeah.
So how do you manage that to all the youngsters listening at home that want to pursue a career in baseball? How do you manage the baseball part of it, which is got to be grueling at times, along with the academic part?
I got to give all that credit to my dad. My dad, my whole life, had me so scared to get anything less than an A. So schooling was never purely my motivation to do well in school, even though everyone wants to do well in school. I think it also comes down to competition there. It's like you don't want to have people getting better grades than you in class. Like
Exactly.
You don't want to be behind anyone in anything, really. So that probably plays a part in it. But yeah, my dad definitely was on me about my grades, and not living up to his expectations was definitely something that kept me going to class every day.
Yeah, well, I can attest to that as well, and the competitive part I can attest to as well. When you're a true competitor, you don't want to be good at just one thing. You kind of want to win at everything.
Everything, yeah. No, and that's my roommates can attest to that. That if we have a little game that we just toss the ball back and forth in the garage, and they can tell you that I'm undefeated. I don't lose.
But also too, that's going to help you after baseball. I can tell you
for
that
sure.
right now.
Mhm.
With whatever career you choose to pursue, that competitiveness will help you. As Ryder gets a strikeout there for 2 outs here. We'll check out the replay here. Walk us through it right here.
Ooh, I didn't catch it early enough to see what pitch that is, but it's on the inside corner. Yeah,
Looked like
left
a
him
fastball.
looking there. Looked like it caught him off guard. Maybe thought it was going to run off inside off the plate. But yeah, that's on the black right there. That's a perfect pitch for the situation, honestly. Christian giving up a couple unlucky hits, but he'll get back in there. He's just as much a competitor as the rest of us. So I'm sure he's wanting to get these guys out as bad as the rest of us.
Yeah, he had a. Speaking of him, when the character, he is quite the character, and all the seniors here had to fill out a senior day player information card to be broadcast over the loudspeaker prior to the game. And Christian Ryder, his was the most thorough.
As expected, yeah. He's a writer. He's been journaling a lot lately, and he's read a few of his entries in there, and even just him describing his daily thoughts is very in-depth and well-worded.
Another good student, Christian Ryder, mentioned it earlier, a 3-time SEC Academic Honor Roll recipient while he was at Georgia, and an all-conference academic Conference Carolinas, not only performer like yourself, but academic as well.
Yeah, he's been blessed with a good brain, that's for sure. He makes sure he puts in the work, does what he's supposed to, because as we all know, if you don't put the work in the classroom, you don't get to put the work in on the field, and that's what we're all here to do. So you got to take care of one to take care of the other, and he's done a very good job of doing that.
That's right. He's also a member of that work-study crew. Have you ever been a part of that?
I have not. I don't think that I could take the criticism from the rest of the guys to do that job.
The 2-2. This ball's hit foul, and the third base coach, unlike Hunter Dilworth for North Greenville, wanted no part of that for Salem. So, what's your overall thoughts? Tough weekend against Mount Olive last week.
Yeah.
Is this weekend going to maybe point the Crusaders in the right direction?
I think so. I mean, first off, I don't put a whole lot of thought into Mount Olive. That place is just, in my career, never gone well, but never had anything to do with the outcome of our season. So I'm not putting too much stock into that weekend, but would have felt nice to get a nice series win there. But at the end of the day, they got to come beat us again when it matters, so I'm not too worried about it.
Christian Ryder retires aside with a pop-up there to Pat Monteith and Ethan Garner. We would like to say thank you. Not only a great outing on the mound, but a great career here at North Greenville. It is not finished, folks. Continue to follow him, and we will follow this game right into the commercial break. We will see you shortly.
Thank you, Trey.
out for the Crusaders, number 21, Jordan Holiday.
And welcome back in, folks. Bottom of the fifth, Jordan Holiday steps into the box, and we want to thank once again Ethan Garner for joining us as Holiday rips this one into right field to begin the bottom of the fifth with a nice leadoff single.
Yeah, nice job opening the inning up for the Crusaders, Jordan Holiday. Absolutely smokes line drive to right. You know,
That'll bring up number 7,
usually when he does that, he starts to get hot. When he starts hitting balls the other way on the line, it's always a good sign for Jordan Holiday.
You know, he was pitched pretty tough his first couple of at-bats. That time it looked like he went up there saying, I'm gonna try to shoot a ball the other way. He got a pitch he could do it with, and he certainly did it. Ball dangerously close to hitting Doug Angley, but it's going to be 1-0 instead. And don't sleep on Jordan Holiday as a base runner as well.
We have 3 or 4 of those players that don't look very fast but can steal a bag at any moment.
Jordan Holiday, very strong player over there at first base. And
rumor has it, Trey, he squats about 560.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with this kid. He is he's played a tremendous first base.
Absolutely has. He's just getting better every day, and I think that's kudos to the first base coach, Trey Dyson. You've done a great job with the first baseman over there.
Well, I appreciate that, and I certainly did not want to say it, but I would certainly agree with you.
I figured you would.
But the overall defense as a whole has been really good, leading the conference in fielding percentage, now up over 973, I believe, and that is really fielding the ball.
Yeah, I think as a good goal to set as a team is to have your defense over 975. And we're just on the brink. We need to get a little higher, but we're right there.
975, is that the benchmark for a great defense? I mean,
that's the benchmark for an incredible defense. But I think that's what every team should strive to have.
Not to mention on this turf, should be easier to field the ground balls, and they have done a really good job not only of fielding at home, but on the few away games. North Greenville defense has done a tremendous job on the dirt infields as well.
Yeah, haven't had many away games yet, but we're about to embark on a 3 road trip in a row series. I think we have all conference. The next 3 weekends all away, so this is our last home game. As you can tell, we're doing senior day. But yeah, they've been able to adjust to the dirt pretty well.
Yep, this is the last scheduled home game of the season. North Greenville goes to Fleur Field just down the road here on Tuesday to take on Lander. So make sure to get your tickets for that. Take on a very good Lander team at a very nice ballpark in downtown Greenville. That should be a treat.
Trey, do we have a new pitcher on the mound?
We do. Number 21, Jason Gomez, a right-handed pitcher, and he is from the West Coast as well. Looks like he's got a good little fastball, a good breaking ball, and Monteith in a 2-strike count. He got a base hit in his last at bat. Has hit extremely well with 2 strikes this season.
Yeah, really good take there by Monteith. Something that he's been doing all year. He's just seeing spin very well, seeing sliders, and it's just, again, we talk about it every time, and it's just impressive to see from such a young hitter.
It is, and his buddy yesterday, another freshman, Zach Zara, had a big day. This ball is right past Monteith, another strikeout, but do not see that very often. This time, when you have to respect the breaking ball, you will be susceptible to that high fastball, and Monteith swings through it. So good job there from Jason Gomez. Great to have Ethan Garner come to the booth.
Absolutely. How electric was that?
Very good. You could see a very polished young man, and whoever he ends up working for, and unless he goes into business for himself, is going to be in for a treat.
Yeah, they got a good one in Ethan Gardner.
Yeah, for sure. I like what he said about his grades. He gave a lot of credit to his late father, and also his competitiveness.
Yeah.
Now, were you the same way in the classroom, Utah?
I wouldn't say I was as competitive as Ethan Gardner was in the classroom, but every other aspect of life, yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Certainly a very smart young man. You are.
Correct.
Full of wisdom.
Full
of wit as well. Sometimes you might spend a little too much time on your phone.
I'll just chalk that up to the generation.
Okay.
It's not my fault, it's our fault.
As Josh Center, who he's been on an absolute tear lately, had a grand slam in yesterday's game. This ball is going to be off the end of the bat to the right side. Off the bat, it looked like it might sneak through the right side. Salem was in a shifted position, but Medina makes a nice play there, but not before Center advances the runners to second, third, with leadoff hitter Garrett Octavio coming to the plate.
Now, Trey, we talk about the shift a lot, me and you personally. We have very friendly, respectable discussions about it. You're very pro-shift. I'm not necessarily anti-shift, but I'm not as pro-shift, if you say. That right there, if you're not in a shift, I really think that's an easy double play ball.
You know, noted, and I will note that in my mind. And this ball gets past LaRoque. Big Daddy Holiday coming home to the plate, and he will be banged out at home.
I'm not sure about that one.
That's a risk that you could take. We are going to see it again. As you can see right there, the catcher just gets past him a little bit. Jordan Holiday, with the fire jump over there at third base, wants to take a risk, and a decent risk with the lead.
Attention fans, now pitching for the Crusaders, number 25, J.K. Love. Leading off for the Tigers, number 27, Alan LaRoque.
The new pitcher you see on the mound, senior J.K. Love. And the other defensive replacements, as Landon Powell has done a line change with his lineup. Garrick Octavio has moved to left field. Ethan Stringer has moved to center field. Dawson Price is now in the game. He came in and batting in the 6 hole for Jordan Holiday. Dawson is playing second base. J.K. Love on the mound, just getting ahead early here. Connor Driscoll, another senior, moves to shortstop, comes in the game, and Trace Balknight is the new catcher, catching his friend and longtime teammate J.K. Love. There you see Trace already making an impact. 2-strike, breaking ball in the dirt. Good block right there.
Absolutely. You know, Trace, one of the better defensive catchers on this side of the Mississippi River. Trace Balknight, we can't speak on it enough. Just an all-time Crusader. I'd be up to retire his jersey. I don't think anybody else should wear the number 17.
And you know what? Very special to me, Trace Balknight. I played with his uncle, Kip Balknight, at the University of South Carolina.
Wow.
His grandparents are here today, along with his parents. Chad and Crystal, along with his sister Tegan, came to celebrate the day with him. A super smart kid, Balknight behind the plate.
I mean, when he comes up to plate, everyone takes their hat off and tips it to Trace Balknight, and there's no other reason other than the utmost respect for him.
Utmost respect for him, as well as the big man on the mound. J.K. Love wastes no time in making his presence felt. A little cutter there from Love, who gets a strike 3. Way to come in the game and do your job, J.K. Love.
Yeah, J.K. Love looking real comfortable out there. Pretty good sequence right there as he gets a 3-2 cutter right by him for strike 3.
And a shout out to his father and mother, Bill and Susan Love, who came to support him today. J.K., a super talented kid coming out of high school, out of Latta High School. He was ranked the number 2 pitcher in the state. Actually had plans on pitching for the College of Charleston.
Yeah.
Before North Greenville came on his mind, and he's been here since 2017.
Well, Trey, I don't know if you know this, but he actually went through a shoulder injury at College of Charleston that obviously hurt him a little bit. And Landon, being the master recruiter he is, was able to get J.K. Love to transfer over here to North Greenville from College of Charleston.
Well, as the recruiting coordinator here at North Greenville, it is my job to know those things. I did know that, and I heard that before the injury that J.K. Love was mid-90s, low to mid-90s, and certainly had high hopes at the next level. And although those plans may have been altered a little bit by the injury, the good news for North Greenville baseball fans, not only here at the ballpark, watching the stream today, but really across the world, J.K. Love is planning on becoming the graduate assistant coach for the North Greenville baseball staff next year.
Well, if that news doesn't fire you up, then I don't know what will. I couldn't think of a better guy to have that role.
And another swing and miss for Love. As you can see, the third camera we have here today. Get a good look at Brady West, who's now playing first base for the Crusaders.
Trey, let me ask you something.
Yes, sir.
In your time of playing baseball, how tall was the tallest pitcher that you faced?
That is a good question. I know that if they were like 6'4" or above, I never enjoyed facing them because they felt like they were right on top of me.
Well,
but where are you going with this?
I was going to say, it's got to be tough to face a guy like J.K., 6'8", 6'9" up there. Probably looks like it's coming from – wow, what a play over there by Brady West. Oh, my goodness, Trey, did you see that?
Let's hope that the folks at home can get a replay of that. Brady West playing in, having to hold on the runner. That we work on that at first base.
You do. Another kudos to the first base coach, Trey Dyson.
Well, you know, I can't take all the credit. All the credit goes to the players. And Brady West, Jordan Holiday, John Michael Fail, Pat Monteith, they've all been doing a really good job at first base this season. Brady West competes all the time and really takes pride in his defense. And he has done a very nice job at first base this year for the Crusaders.
How about one senior helping another senior out right there?
Just a beautiful day all the way around. The crowd is beautiful. All the family that is here. I really think we're turning a corner from COVID.
I agree, and I really hope so. I think this world needs to get back to where we were before this pandemic, and hopefully that happens in the near future.
And we are certainly pleased to bring a little bit of normalcy to everything by this broadcast here today. Baseball, America's pastime, a great game to get the country back on track as the runner takes off from first. Balknight with the big hose down to second. Not going to be in time as senior Dawson Price.
Tell you what, Trace put that right on the bag. Just a really good jump there by the base runner. I don't think Trace had any chance, no matter how good the throw was.
Ooh, but Dawson Price, good awareness right there. Almost got Shim off the bag, but a nice stolen base for Tyler Shim. 2-1 count here. This ball is hit, flied out to Dawson Price out there at second base. And
all outs made by seniors here today, Trey.
It is senior day here in Tigerville, and North Greenville leads 8-1 as we head to the bottom half of the sixth inning. And we are back. The flying Hawaiian, Garrick Octavio, steps in to the batter's box to lead off the bottom of the sixth. 1-0 count.
The flying Hawaiian, Trey, another major league comparison, Shane Victorino. That was his nickname.
Yeah, that's my bad. But I think that Shane Victorino, switch hitter, good call on that one. Is he still playing? No chance.
No, he is not. He's been retired for maybe 5 or 6 years.
But a good player for sure. Octavia with the broken pinky has almost become a better hitter since he dislocated that finger. 2 hits already today. And this ball is taken outside for a ball, and what a leadoff hitter. This ball just misses on the outer half.
Yeah, it looks about white line right there, Trey. Good take by Octavio.
Yeah, and credit to the home plate umpire, too, you know.
You want to know something I learned the other day?
Yeah, I would love to.
From the man himself, it's actually pronounced Octavio. And
Well,
it turns out we've been saying it wrong for 2 years. Well, can't change now.
I mean, yeah, that's a tough one right there. Or we could just keep referring to him as G.
G-Baby.
G-Baby. G-Unit.
G-Unit.
All the above.
Another nickname, Gary.
Gary.
His teammates like to call him Gary.
He's such a threat on the bases and looked like he may have been going there. You know, a guy that Coach Landon Powell really trusts, gets the green light virtually all the time. and is a dynamic base stealer. Ethan Stringer, 3 hits on the day, yet to really drive one like he did yesterday.
Beautiful thing about baseball, sometimes you don't have to. They all look the same in the scorebook.
They all look the same in the scorebook, but they don't all look the same when it comes to slugging percentage.
Very true.
This ball is missed poorly, and credit to Salem, as you see Octavio scattered to second base there. Credit to Salem, they had a lot of walks yesterday as a pitching staff, but they must have had a good team meeting last night. They've really thrown a lot of strikes here today. And, 8-1, not out of reach for them, but probably the odds might be against that. But
yeah, I mean, for any team out there, if you want to give yourself a chance to win the game, you got to throw strikes. You can't just give people free passes. I mean, we say it all the time. Hitting is hard to do. It's very hard to do.
It is very hard to do. And if you all you have to do is go out and watch a batting practice one day.
I was going to say the same thing.
See how many times hitters get themselves out or just maybe hit it right at a guy. Stringer in a 2-1 count. Great hitters count right here with Octavio at second base. This is a breaking ball. Spun in there, maybe a little low.
Now, what do we call 3-1 count here at North Greenville, Trey?
Well, probably the greatest hitting count of all time.
Absolutely. It couldn't get much better than this. Runner on second, no outs. Ethan Stringer up with a 3-1 count.
And that ball's painted on the outer half. And not to mention that, but you got a guy like John Michael Fail backing you up.
They're not going to want to walk you.
They're not going to want to walk you, especially after what John Michael Fail did in his last at-bat.
Folks, if you're just tuning in the bottom of the fourth, back-to-back pitches, John Mike and Madik Kloop hit back-to-back home runs. It was electric. And we might see some fireworks here as we got runners on first and second with the man, the myth, the legend, John Michael Fail coming up to plate.
Yes, John Michael Fail, his last at-bat, hit one well over the flagpole out there in right center field. Absolutely crushed. Ethan Stringer draws a walk. That's 4 for 4 on base today. 3 for 3 in the books with the walk.
Have yourself a day, Ethan Stringer. Senior day, parents in the stands. Good for you.
As he takes a little floater breaking ball in there for strike one.
How do you think John Mike looks with the pants up, Trey?
Well, he hit a home run, a big home run. So I'm always a fan of that.
Absolutely.
And we were talking about slugging percentage earlier. John Mike certainly has one of the best in the country when it comes to slugging percentage. And North Greenville, as a team, believe it or not, has a OPS, which is on base plus slugging.
Correct.
The new stat that tells a lot more than just batting average. Over 1,000 as a team. Midway through the year, that's some
incredibly impressive.
Very impressive. I believe Erskine is second in that category. It's just a good pitch right there from the young fella.
A lot of speed on the bases here. If John Mike puts one in the gap, it's 2 RBIs without a doubt.
And once he gets locked in to his 2-strike approach, once he gets feeling really good, look out, Conference Carolinas. Comes the 1-2. See John Mike calling for time. Another thing that I like to look – I'm sorry, Utah, go ahead.
To talk about, how good of a hitter John Mike is, we're talking about how uncomfortable he is and that he's been a little off. He's still hitting 370 with 10 home runs.
Yeah, not bad for being in a slump.
Exactly. Could you imagine if he was feeling good?
This ball's chopped out to third again. And John Meyer, once again, playing very well at third base. Over to the first baseman, Buchanan.
Obviously, John Mike's not going to be happy with that result, but he did advance the runners to give his teammate Madik Kloop a good RBI chance with less than 2 outs.
Yeah, there you see a good look at John Mike like you said, he gets the runners over, which is technically his job in that situation, but he wanted more. But Mark Luke comes up, a former Conference Carolinas Player of the Week, hit a home run yesterday and hit a big one here in his last at bat. This pitch is spun in there. Another diving stab by John Meyer, but not in time to get the speedy Kloop, who gets another hit, another RBI, and right there, just the recruiting shows for North Greenville. Kloop, the speed up and down the order, the power up and down the. If you're a pitcher, it's got to be a tough lineup to face.
Has to be. There's no way around it. Speaking of Mark Kloop, man of many talents as well, you were there witnessing it with me on the bus. An absolutely electric performance of bus karaoke. Very unexpected, very surprising. He went with an old faithful song out of Czech that no one understood.
Nobody.
But guess what? The chorus was catching. We started singing along with it, and it's a great inside joke now in the dugout.
Yes, and it just proves that music really is a universal language.
Could not have said it better myself. Bora Czechio.
Bora Czechio, indeed. Whatever that means. Congratulations, Mark Kloop, on another.
Mark Kloop told me it means I'm a cool guy.
And he certainly is. Speaking of the NGU Twitter account, there is a very good interview that Mark Kloop did after winning the Conference Carolinas Player of the Week. If you scroll through maybe a couple weeks ago, you will see a really good interview with him and Christian Ryder translating that interview. I really got to see a lot of his personality, and it was a job well done.
Absolutely. A great video. Very, very funny. Well executed as well. Really good pitch right there.
Yes, Mr. Gomez for Salem, much like Lindner yesterday, with a really good outing for Salem. Gomez is spotting it up pretty well, mixing in the breaking ball, and putting North Greenville hitters on their heels. This 1-2 pitch is spanked back up the middle by Brady West. An RBI from him, and the athleticism of Mark Kloop. 9-1 game. He's taking nothing for granted. Going first to third on that base hit. Tell us about the base running.
It's absolutely electric. It fires me up. It fires the dugout up, and I think it fires the fans up. And, you know, we have a 10-1 ball game here, and we got guys still getting after it on the field, not taking anything for granted. Base hit up the middle, right to center field. You wouldn't expect a guy big as Mark Kloop to get first or third. Takes off, no hesitation. Doesn't need to pick up his coach that plays in front of him, and he makes it with ease.
Indeed he does, and brings up another RBI situation for Dawson Price, senior, been in this program a while, participated in senior day. He came to North Greenville from Sumter High School.
Tell you what, Dawson Price, nickname around the team is Primo. Spent a lot of time with Dawson as I played with him for 2 years. Being both infielders, we took ground balls together 24/7. One of my all-time favorite teammates, an absolutely great guy. Love the kid. Let's go, Dawson, pick up some runs here. 3-0, you got to get the green light here, right?
Senior day, Landon Powell has already given the green light 2 times today. Both times they paid off Brady West earlier in the game, and John Michael Fail with the home run. You can certainly bet what you have that he has it right here. A little bit high.
You definitely don't want to have a 4-pitch walk on your first AB, as Dawson Price would love to do something special, but you know what? He's going to get another shot here soon.
Dawson Price was joined by his father and mother, Danny and Kim Price, and his girlfriend, Megan, joined him as well today. So we hope they are enjoying watching him play. And Doug Angeli, the UNC Wilmington transfer, shortstop, steps into the box with the bases loaded. Grand slams are what North Greenville has been doing this year.
Ooh, he tried to hit one right there, that's for sure.
He did. He almost lost his helmet with that swing.
Trey, were you a big eye black guy when you played?
You know, not really.
No?
I don't know why, but I wanted to look cool. I think it looks really cool.
I do too. I like it.
But then when we started playing, these guys started drawing like this double play ball maybe, but booted by the second baseman, Medina. Can't assume a double play, so that will be an RBI for Doug Angeli. At the end of the day, he gets his job done, but he cannot be pleased with that at bat.
But he sets up the senior Connor Driscoll to get his first at bat of the day with an opportunity to have a big 2-out knock for the Crusaders.
So to the eye black, we would have guys that would take the eye black like this underneath the eye, and then at the end,
go straight down.
They'd go straight down, and that just wasn't me, you know.
Okay.
So maybe that's why I didn't do the eye black.
Yeah, it's definitely grown into more of a design now. As you know, you see people a lot of times do crosses under their eyes.
So what did you do the eye black?
I did. I liked it. I was just a straight line, just classic eye black.
Cut.
Didn't do anything too much, but I did enjoy it, especially when we wore the all whites here. I thought it complemented the jerseys very well.
Yeah, you know something about fashion.
I like to think I do. Yeah, I care about my presentation. It's all about first impressions. First impressions. I wanted to say impersonation. Thank you for correcting me. First impressions is big, It
really is. Perception can be reality.
Absolutely.
And Connor Driscoll gets a 1-1 pitch, grounded out to the shortstop, and what a pick over there by Buchanan.
He's really had a good weekend.
He has had a good weekend, and Jason Gomez comes in and does a nice job overall. Maybe gave up a couple runs here or there, but otherwise really pounded the strike zone and did a nice job for Salem. We will head into the 7th inning with North Greenville leading 11-1.
Attention fans, now pitching for the Crusaders, number 35, Matt Daly.
And welcome back in. North Greenville with an 11-1 lead as we enter the top of the 7th, and making an appearance here on Senior Day is left-handed pitcher Matthew Daly, or Daly Dimes as his teammates call him. Good left-handed pitcher, participated in Senior Day. Tell us what kind of stuff he has, Utah.
Just really electric stuff. He loves working inside early to right-handed hitters. Expect a fastball in. Good cutter that he actually just – there it is, fastball in. First pitch, ground out to senior Connor Driscoll, over to senior Brady West. How about that right there? Anyway, really good cutter, good fastball. I think his best pitch is his changeup, though, and it's really detrimental to right-handed hitters.
Yeah, especially when you can pound in the way that he does so well, like you called it. Connor Driscoll making a play out there at shortstop. Tristan Hudson has entered the game as the new third baseman for North Greenville. And Daly is a transfer from Catawba Valley Community College. Probably profiles more as a starting pitcher, as this one is driven into center field, but Ethan Stringer puts that one away. So 3 pitches here and 2 outs for Matthew Daly. Daly, Catawba Valley Community College. He started in the conference championship game.
He sure did. He sure did. I was right there behind him.
And with the depth on this staff and just team overall, you know, he's one or two injuries from really coming in, making a name for himself, pitching some big innings. I mean, you could see the talent right there. First pitch breaking ball, left on left. He has some real talent.
Yeah, he's got some wipeout stuff for sure, and it's good to see him pounding the zone right here and just going right at guys. Matthew Daly, another one of those great characters that North Greenville has, real electric personality, funny guy, loves to have some fun in the dugout and, you know, shagging outfield baseballs. I think he robbed a home run today in BP, actually.
Congratulations, Daly. You know, I'm in the cage a lot with these guys.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I look out and I see Daly. Like you said, he is a fun guy to be around. He actually has a really nice left-handed stroke.
He does, and he practices it all the time.
He kind of mirror practices it, though.
Yeah, he doesn't hit. But
right. Well, I mean, other players got to hit. But I've offered him over the past couple weeks or so time in the cage, and look at Matthew Daly at a 1-2-3 inning, finished off with this nasty slider against Salem's hottest hitter, Buchanan.
Matthew Daly making it look easy out there, folks.
Making it look easy. What an outing for the senior Daly Dimes as we head to the bottom of the 7th with North Greenville leading 11-1.
Folks, welcome back to the bottom of the 7th. If you're at home watching, I expect you to be taking your habit off and tipping it to Trace Bachnight as everyone else in the stands is doing it. Really good swing there. Healthy hack. Looks like he's right on that.
Good, healthy hack from Trace Bachnight, who's done a really nice job catching. He's been struggling at the plate a little bit lately. So where did the hat thing come from? Are you familiar? Well, tell everyone what happens. What song is that is played? What's his walkout song?
Paint Me a Birmingham.
Okay.
It's his walk-up song. I'm sure everyone knows it. Great feel-good song. And, whenever it comes on, I believe it started before I came here, so I'm really not sure, but I'm pretty sure it's just because he's an incredible guy and everyone loves him, and we're just tipping our hat to Billy Bachnight. I mean, look at him right there as he takes one for the team on senior night in a 1-2 count.
Exactly. The kid just always is doing things to help out his teammates. As you take a look at it right here, you see him choking up a little bit, wanting to make sure he makes contact. And the ball certainly made contact, not with his bat, but with his body, and he is on base. Now, will Trace get a chance to steal a base?
Now, that would absolutely be electric. I know the dugout would go crazy, and I hope it happens.
I do, too. That would be something.
Just got an update here Number 37, Ethan Struthers, is going to be entering the game for Maudit Kloop. He's going to be playing right and batting fourth. We might see him up at the dish this inning.
This will be a good moment here in Tigerville. Struthers, a right-handed pitcher, all around good athlete.
One of the better athletes on the team.
Good athlete. Things have not probably gone the way that he would have wished as far as getting time on the mound is concerned with this very competitive, deep pitching staff. But Landon Powell is going to give himself an opportunity here at the plate. I believe you heard him talking with Struthers before the game.
I did. And, Landon went up to him, and as respected as he is as a senior, he asked Struthers if he'd rather have an inning on the mound or get to play the field and get an AB. And Struthers didn't hesitate and decided to grab an AB, and you know what? I would have made the same decision.
Yeah, and that's something that you just love to see. As
there goes Trace.
Does take off. He does not peek in whatsoever. He was thinking stolen base on the mind. That will be a stolen base.
Like I said, the dugout is very fired up about that one. Way to go, Trace.
You know, he was trying to steal the base, and good for him. I wonder if they'll let him steal third.
Now, I don't think they're going to do that.
I don't know.
But I have been shocked before. Let's see if Gary can hit Trace in.
This pitch is another walk for Octavio. But going back to what I was talking about, baseball is a fun game. Unfortunately, at certain areas, or if you've been in the game long enough, you've certainly probably been in great environments and maybe not so great environments.
We'll tell you what, I've been in Ethan Struthers' exact position. When I was at North Carolina my freshman and sophomore year, I didn't play. I mean, there's no way around it. No way to beat around the bush. I just didn't play. And it sucks. It's not fun. But you know what? I think we respect and love Ethan Struthers as much as we do because of how he handled it and how good of a teammate and just all-around friend that he is.
Right. And along to continue on that, most people might say, okay, well, you're a pitcher. You got to pitch. Landon Powell asks him before the game, what would you rather do? And he lets him hit. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, that's just can't talk high enough about head coach Landon Powell. I think if there was a stat, obviously there's not, but I would put him up for probably having the most feel out of any head coach in the nation.
Okay, some good feel, and that is high praise coming from a guy like yourself whose feel is off the charts.
Well, I appreciate that. You have pretty good feel yourself, Trey.
Thank you. I try to, but, Now
let's see if Ethan Stringer can keep his perfect day going.
Good call there. 3 for 3 on the day with a walk. Ooh, there was a good pitch.
Trace Bachnight really dancing out there at second base. You might be right. He might be trying to steal third.
And, well, you got a good trail runner in Octavio, who's amongst the conference leaders in stolen bases. So you got that part handled. It's just a matter of getting the jump. Salem keeping them close, but right here. And good secondary. Ball inside to Stringer. Stringer has a very distinct batting style that if you come to one of our practices or a game, you will see him practice that style a lot.
Yeah. Stringer, a very good golfer.
Really?
Yes. Fun fact about Ethan Stringer, played golf with him many a times. He can shoot it.
This ball is on the outer half for strike 2.
I don't know about outer half, Trey. It looked like it was right down the middle.
Well, very well may be the case. A new pitcher in for Salem. That is Ben Sideranos out of Richmond Hills, Ontario. Sideranos coming into this series with 3 appearances, only 3 innings, so the numbers can be tricky. Giving up a few hits and runs on the season. but looking to keep North Greenville off the scoreboard here in the bottom of the 7th. Here comes the full count pitch to Stringer.
Oh, almost an incredible play by third base coach Hunter Dilworth. He seems a little embarrassed as he goes and takes his seat in the dugout right there.
Well, to me, that play was he had bad preparation.
Okay.
Bad prep and a little slow to the ball.
Now, if you were in the dugout right here, Trey, what do you tell Dilworth to help him out?
I probably just offer some words of encouragement with the saying around here, one pitch at a time.
Yeah.
You certainly don't want to miss that play, but you've got to be ready to make the next play.
Yeah, he's very upset with himself as he's looking up in the booth right now, hands on the helmet. He knows he should have had that one, and man, would that have been exciting.
Stringer, 5th time at the plate, 5th time on base. He draws his 2nd walk of the game, and John Michael Fail, bases loaded, has a chance to drive. He's had a lot of chances this year to drive in a lot, and he's driven in a lot of runs.
Yeah, you got to tip your hat to the 1-2 guys, Octavio and Stringer. They've been getting on base almost every time, really, it seems like. They're both hitting around 400, on base percentage probably over 500. I mean, John Mike's got a lot of opportunities to drive in runs with those guys in front of him.
The new school approach with a lot of these teams nowadays is to put your best hitter in the 2-hole. Landon Powell is stuck to his guns with keeping John Mike in the 3-hole, and because of the dynamic traditional type leadoff hitter that Garrick Octavio is, I think it really suits this team best to keep John Mike in the 3-hole.
I agree. And I think it suits this team even better to keep Ethan Struthers in the 4-hole, as my man, number 37, senior, is taking some warm-up swings on deck. Folks, stay tuned. This could get interesting.
As Fail takes the 1-1 pitch high. So a good hitter's count here for Fail, who already has blasted his 9th home run of the season.
10th.
His
now.
10th home run of the season.
9 coming into today. Hit 1 today to make it 10. Very impressive stuff.
Another good pitch to hit right there. Squibbed off.
Selfishly, Trey, I would love a walk here and keep the bases loaded for Ethan Struthers, see if he can do something special.
Yeah, Struthers has really put in the time in the weight room this year. He looks good over there on the on-deck circle.
He was actually a really good pinch runner during my senior year. We actually used him quite a bit.
And your wish just very well may come true, as John Mike has worked a 3-2 count.
Well, as my short time as a broadcaster, Trey, I've been known to have pretty good calls and jinxes, and I think I'm going to get this one right here. As long as John Mike doesn't chase.
Okay, you called it first, and this ball is fouled back. So what is the call so that we can hold you accountable?
My call is a walk right here. Not necessarily on this next pitch. He could foul a couple more off. But I think he's going to walk, and I think we're going to see Ethan Struthers come to the plate with the bases loaded.
This ball is right there for John Mike, who sprees it into left field. This will score 2 runs as Trace Bucknight and Garrick Octavio come home to score to put North Greenville up 13-1.
Well, you got to be happy for John Mike. I'm going to have a talk with him at home after the game and let him know that he did ruin my perfect calling as a broadcaster, but, good swing. And I guess we'll take first and second with Ethan Struthers coming to bat.
And, folks, you may wonder why we are up here in the booth. It is really to give these seniors
the energy and
something to remember by. Hopefully they can take this broadcast, show it to their kids, their grandkids one day.
Absolutely.
We know them best. The production team here at North Greenville does a tremendous job. We thank them for letting us broadcast it. I can't ask for a better broadcast partner as Jack's Cash enters the game for John Michael Fail, but it certainly has been a pleasure working with you.
Absolutely, Trey. And just real quick, I want to point out that as John Mike is not a senior, he gets a standing O right there as he comes off the field, as this could also be his last home game being a draft-eligible guy.
Very true. North Greenville is certainly known to put guys into the pros. As
wow, what a swing by Ethan Struthers right there. I absolutely love it, and so does everyone else.
He takes a healthy cut there. He's smiling in the batter's box. Looks like he has chosen Connor Driscoll's bat.
Hey, that bat's hitting about 500. That's a pretty good bat to use.
And another one up and away. Struthers needs to compete right here.
You know what? We're going to have a talk with him after this. Maybe get him in the batting cage a little bit, work on that swing.
It's all fun and games until you get into a 2-strike count. Looking very confident up there. This one is down in the dirt.
Good take there, Struthers. The dugout is going crazy in there. Everyone's behind him, talking it up for Ethan Struthers. Come on, 3-7.
Good thing right here is Struthers has a chance to have a productive at bat even if he doesn't get a hit. Nobody out here. Runner on third, less than 2 outs. Put the ball in play, get yourself an RBI.
The people are on their feet, Struthers. Let's do it, baby.
The pitch just a bit outside. He got 3 pitches on the outer half. Just really kind of swung through all 3 of them.
I mean, probably his first plate appearance in 4 or 5 years. So,
the bat speed's there.
It's there. Absolutely. Honestly, a really good swing.
Yeah, it really was.
Right on those pitches.
You know, sometimes you have to tip your cap to the pitcher, and that time Ben Sideranos sat down Ethan Struthers.
Well, hopefully we can hit around here and get him up in the bottom half of the 8th. How about that?
I'm sure Struthers, as well as his father, who came to see him play, would certainly like that. Struthers was joined on the field before the game with his father, David Struthers. Here comes Brady West. This pitch is up and away. Great hitting count right here for Brady West.
Brady West having himself a pretty good senior day with 2 knocks and I believe an RBI today.
Yep, he did. He shot one past the right side with the infield drawn in earlier in the game.
Let's not forget about his face plant slide at second base. Wish we had some video on that.
Folks, you'll be able to replay the broadcast later on. So feel free to hop on the website and check that out. To relive all of the great plays and moments here on Senior Day. Brady West draws another walk, and Coach Heenan has seen enough. He is going to visit with his pitcher.
We're going to have ourselves a really good spot here for Dawson Price, as he already has 1 grand slam on the year. Would love another, especially on Senior Day.
We will see what happens when we return. And the new pitcher for Salem, number 30, Dalton Smith, right-handed freshman pitcher out of Chico, California. Smith did pitch in yesterday's game. Game 2, he pitched an inning. Really over-the-top, big right-handed pitcher. Was actually able to pitch a scoreless inning. Big opportunity here for the senior, Dawson Price, on senior day. The bases are loaded. 1-0 count, 1 out here in the 7th. Ooh, that pitch was right there. And Price must have been fooled as he takes that for a strike. Dawson Price did get some action yesterday. He was 0 for 2 on the day. This one,
that is a healthy hack there, Dawson Price.
Right there again. He swings through it, and now he will have to try to do a job with two strikes. Bases loaded. Here comes the 2-strike pitch.
Good take.
Dawson Price lays off of it.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Dawson Price, I put him in top 5 on the team as most impressive VP.
Certainly. He is got quite the swing. And that one just misses. Dawson Price gets another crack at it here in a 3-2 count. 1 out. The pitch. This ball is fouled straight back, and we will do it again. Can really cut the tension with a knife out here.
Absolutely. Kind of feels like a close game, Trey. What's everyone so nervous for?
Well, I don't think it's nervous. I think it's anticipation of what Dawson Price can do. And he takes one outside for a ball. Good at bat. Brings home Ethan Stringer. And we are now going to be joined by the catcher, the first baseman, the home run hitter, John Michael Fail, and Utah Jones will be conducting this interview. Folks at home, enjoy.
John Michael Fail, thank you for coming up and talking to us today. First of all, how are you?
How you doing, Utah?
Doing pretty good, man.
I'm doing well, man. Glad to be out here. Glad you guys could have me up here today.
Well, you had a pretty decent game. I believe you went 2 for 4 with a home run and a RBI single.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you feel up there in the box? What'd you see? Tell us how you felt.
Yeah, I felt good. Past couple games, I've been seeing the ball really well. Just things haven't been going my way. And, you know, that's baseball. That happens.
Absolutely.
So, but, yeah, today saw the ball really well, connected with a few. Still a lot of room for improvement, obviously. But, you know, I felt good today.
Well, that's good to hear, folks. A couple pass balls allowed 2 runners to score. Tristan Hudson now at the plate. Now, John Mike, you looked a little different today. I didn't know what it was until I did. The high pants, you went all the way up today showing some socks. Now, you've never done that before.
Yeah.
Can you give us a little background on that?
Yeah, well, a bunch of the guys on the team have been telling me I should, you know, try it, give it a look. I've actually never done it before. This would be the first time. It's never really been my look, I could say. But I will say this. Today, Utah, I got a lot of compliments on it. I felt really good out there, felt athletic, felt agile, felt quicker. And it might be something I start going to.
Tristan Hudson with the line drive to left, RBI single scores, Dawson Price. Now, John Mike, I will second those compliments. I mean, it looks really good. You got some good calves on you. You got some good legs. The high pants. I've been a high pants advocate. I told you weeks ago you should do it.
I know.
And you kind of looked at me silly, so it hurt my feelings. But I'm glad you tried it out, and would love to see you stick with it. Are you a superstitious guy, John Mike?
I'm a very superstitious guy. You know, I think I think once you do something and it works out for you, why not keep doing it? I mean, what's the harm in it? You know?
I couldn't agree more. I mean, you went high pants today, 2 knocks, 1 absolutely crushed over the fence. If I were you, I might keep this rolling.
Absolutely. This might be something that I stick with. Like I said, I think it's a great look, personally. Like I said, I've gotten a lot of comments, so nothing to complain about. I mean, you know, I look good, I feel good, I play good. That's all I can say.
Man, we hark on that all the time. You look good, and you definitely did today, and you, in fact, did play good. John Mike, turned out we had a beautiful day here on senior night. Can you just tell the fans something that you appreciate from, you know, all the seniors and what they've meant to you in this program?
Man, it's a beautiful thing. Today's always a very special day for us out here. You know, we pride ourselves on being a family out here in Tigerville. And today, especially judging by the score and judging by how we've been playing today, you can really see that. We take a lot of pride in this team and our guys and how we play. And today was a very special day. And, you know, there's a lot of guys that have done a lot of great things for this program. Some guys that have just come in that have stepped up really big. And you can just tell that, you know, the energy is there today. We wanted to come out here and win for those guys, so, man, it's special.
I mean, one of those guys is up right now. What can you say about senior Connor Driscoll?
Great guy, great teammate. He's just he's always up. He's always ready. Brings a lot of energy. And, you know, when his number gets called, he's usually ready to go. And he's delivered a few knocks this weekend and throughout the whole year, actually. So
yeah, I mean, he's hitting around 400, 450.
Absolutely. You can't ask for anything better than that. So hopefully, you know, he barrels the ball here. And
he's definitely competing in there. He's fouled 3 or 4 off right here in the 2-2 count with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Now, John Mike, something special about this team that I don't think a lot of teams have is the amount of talent we have in the karaoke aspect. We went on a road trip last weekend, or actually I believe it was a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, to my surprise, we had 6 or 7 really good singers on the team. Now, did you know that, or was that a shock to you as well?
That was a shock to me as well. I think we have a lot of guys that hadn't really come out of their shell yet. And so once we get them up there, once we get them in front of the crowd, in front of the bus, man, it's special to see. You know, I've always been big into music and, you know, taking that very seriously. So it was great to see those guys out there and being comfortable around the team. And, you know, I think that's something that every team needs. And that's one thing that we have here, and that's for sure.
Connor Driscoll pops one up, foul to first base, and that'll bring up Trace Bachnight with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Now, being big music guys ourselves, I mean, it's scary. You know, it's scary singing in front of people, so pretty impressive that we had 6 or 7 guys get up there. Now, in your opinion, who was the most shocking?
The most shocking? I would say Mardik Kloop. You know, we
spoke on his karaoke performance.
Absolutely, yeah. He you could tell that before he got up there, he was very nervous and didn't really want to get up there and open up in front of the team like that. But, man, when he got up there, did he put on a show.
Absolutely. Now, we got Trace Bachnight at the plate, another catcher, someone who you've spent hours and hours of work with, you play the same position. What do you got on my man Trace?
I mean, this guy competes his butt off every single day. You know, one of the hardest working guys on the team, just day in and day out, you know, doesn't skip a beat. He always shows up. He's always ready to go, and he's one of those guys that you always want on your team. He's one of those guys that the team just wouldn't be the same without him.
Absolutely. He really is just an all-time Crusader. Was talking earlier to Trey. Would love to see the number 17 be retired here sometime in the future.
Absolutely. I completely agree.
Might have to bring that up to Landon. Well, John Mike, really good game today. Good response from yesterday. 2 for 4 with a home run and an RBI single. I appreciate you coming up, talking to us a little bit, and giving us a little insight inside the game, as my friend Trey Dyson would say.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you guys having me up here. You know, maybe we could do this again sometime.
Would love to. Would absolutely love to. I'll see you at the apartment.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well done indeed to my broadcast partner, Utah Jones. His first real interview, you handled yourself very well, and the very personable and talented John Michael Phil. We are blessing North Greenville baseball fans, Conference Carolina fans, just with this broadcast today.
You know, to the hundreds of thousands of people listening out there, if this doesn't just keep you coming back for more, I don't know what will. Trey Dyson, it's easy. As Trace takes a 3-2 pitch just down for ball 4. Great look there by Trey Knight. As I was saying, it's easy when you got such a good interviewer like yourself. Oh, yep, great take. Good call by the umpire. He will be fair with 2, as we said before.
Yes. But I think you were complimenting me. You can.
I was. Such a good interview as yourself, someone who just comes natural to. I'm just, here learning and just taking what I can from you.
I do appreciate that, and certainly by no means would I consider myself a good broadcaster, but I do care so much about this team, and as a Christian myself at a Christian university, I believe that in all aspects of our lives we should try to honor and glorify God, and we hope that we are doing that with that broadcast today.
Absolutely.
But back to the action here, as Garrick Octavio steps in for his 5th or 6th at bat. North Greenville 17 more runs today. Octavio, a big reason why.
We talk about records here at North Greenville. Would love to see what the record is for a 3-game series on runs scored, because we got to be pretty close.
Well, the team has already set records this season for triples in an inning. And
hold on, Trey. We have some commotion in the dugout, as I believe
it looks
Zach
like
Taglieri is going to get an at-bat as he is putting a helmet on. He's going to take the on-deck circle here.
And this would be a great moment. You could hear the dugout being fired up, and the good work by the camera crew to capture that moment, that smile from the Zach Taglieri.
Now, Taglieri is a senior who pitched yesterday, so this will be great to see him take the field on the presented senior day. Let's hope Garrick Octavio can get on base, and we see Zach Taglieri with the bases loaded. Now, the kid can swing it. I've seen him hit some BP. He actually has a really good swing.
He is a good athlete. 5-0 on the season is Zach Taglieri, one of the best pitchers, if not the number 1 pitcher in all of Conference Carolinas.
Taking some aggressive warm-up swings on deck with a high leg kick. Would love to see that transfer into the box. Octavio with a 3-1 count here. 2 outs, runners on first and second. Great. Oh, it's going to be called for a strike. 3-2. I thought we were going to see tags up.
Octavio, just such a good teammate. He knows what's going on. He's a good player. He knows exactly what's going on right here. He knows that Taglieri's on deck, that if he walks, there will be bases loaded for a chance for Taglieri to get a pinch hit appearance. And we will see what the young man does right here. The 3-2 pitch to Octavio. This ball is away.
Folks, you are in for a treat as the dugout is going crazy. We're going to see Zach Taglieri up to bat with the bases loaded. We might have a pitching change first, though.
Yeah, the walks have plagued Salem all weekend long, and we will see a pitching change. Folks, we will tell you about the new pitcher and the new pinch hitter when we return. And welcome back in. Pitching change for Salem as ace pitcher Zach Taglieri gets an opportunity here with the stick on Senior Day.
Tell you what, the crowd is fired up, the dugout is fired up, and you know what? We're pretty fired up. Let's go Tags.
This pitch is...
Oh, Tags doesn't like that one.
That pitch is on the outer half.
You know, kind of ironic because Tags as a pitcher is going to want that pitch called.
That's an interesting conundrum to think about. 0-1 count. This pitch, again, pretty much same spot. Probably off the plate a bit, but much like Ethan Struthers, looks like those pitchers like to kind of swing at that pitch.
You know, I don't blame him. Again, it's probably been a very long time since he's seen live pitching. Let's see if he can battle here with 2 strikes.
Ooh.
And he throws him a slider. The disrespect.
So good job by the new pitcher for Salem, striking out ace pitcher Zach Taglieri, but not before North Greenville puts more runs on the board. 17-1 as we head to the top of the 8th.
Welcome back, folks, as we enter the top of the 8th with senior Hank Nichols taking over on the mound. Hank escorted today by Zach Taglieri as his family was not in town. They're definitely watching the broadcast, I would say.
And Henry Hank Nichols delivers a strike for his Senior Day appearance. Been quite the Senior Day, Utah.
Definitely has.
A lot of good moments. A lot of guys getting action.
You love to see it.
You do. You really do.
Not to mention 17-1 on the scoreboard.
Hank Nichols delivers another strike. Hank's favorite NGU memory, according to himself, was the opportunity to meet Christian Ryder.
Well, I would say that's a lot of people's favorite memory, as we've talked about it multiple times on this stream.
That ball is painted a backdoor breaking ball for strike 3, and Salem has got to be asking themselves, how many pitchers does this team have?
Yeah, you know, Hank is one of our go-to relievers out of the bullpen, so it's got to be tough to come in, maybe getting a pinch hit here in the top of the 8th, and to see Hank Nichols up on the mound.
Hank has nicknamed himself the Alpha Wolf. This ball is hit high and deep to left field, and that is going to be a home run by Salem's best power hitter, Austin Earl.
I believe that's his 6th on the year.
His 6th on the year. He got a pitch he could handle. And a lot of times in these games, these big blowout games, you go out there looking exactly for that pitch, and Earl did not miss it.
Again, tip your hat to the Salem hitters in a 17-1 game, still going up there competing and battling every pitch of the game. But Hank gets right back at it with strike 1 to the next hitter, who I believe is a pinch hitter.
Yes, we are trying to get some information on him. Big right-handed hitter. Fouls one away.
Quickly behind in the count, 1-2, as he pounds on his chest and looks at his Salem dugout.
Yes, that is something we talked about earlier, and apparently a little strategy they like to employ with 2 strikes. Another backdoor breaker for Nichols, misses outside. And this is...
Wow, what a pitch there from Hank.
A backdoor breaking ball to strike out the leadoff hitter this inning. That time came in hard to the right-handed Adlai Muinch, if I pronounce your name wrong, I do apologize, from Saskatchewan.
How about that?
He was probably not too fond of Hank Nichols right now.
Tell you what, this Salem team has kids from all over.
They really do. And that is another pinch hitter, I believe. That is Trey Hissam out of Fairmont, West Virginia, with a base hit back up the box.
Nice job fielding that and getting it back in by now center fielder Ethan Struthers. I believe we'll see him get one more at-bat here in the bottom of the 8th.
As Connor Kelly steps in and takes a strike from Hank Nichols. Another strike painted on the outer half.
Really good job receiving that pitch by Trace Balknight, something he's been working on his career here at North Greenville, and it looks like it's paying off.
Yes, and you mentioned that with John Michael Fail. We were very fortunate to have him as well as Ethan Garner in the booth today. And Hank Nichols, really good breaking pitch, strikes out the side, but not before Salem does score a run on the Austin Earl home run. Overall, really good outing by Hank Nichols, striking out the side. We head to the bottom of the 8th, and we will be back shortly. And welcome back into Senior Day here in Tigerville, South Carolina. North Greenville University has Jax Cash, a talented freshman, is about to enter the box against The right-handed pitcher out of Ripley, West Virginia, Ben Mack, to begin the bottom of the 8th. And
we need to get that music turned off.
And the music is now off.
We got some technical difficulties going here in the booth as we had the music playing, not us.
Folks,
the people beside us, I guess.
We are doing the best we can, and I think, and I want to tip my cap once again to the production team.
Absolutely.
This ball by Cash is grounded weakly to the second baseman for out number 1.
And here comes what we've all been waiting for. Ethan Struthers gets another chance. Let's see if he can do something this time.
Yeah, not very often do moments like this happen where typically you would get an at bat, and then that would be it. But he's getting a second opportunity.
And they flip him a first pitch curveball. That's kind of rude.
Mack is not messing around. He is coming to the game, firing strikes and filling up the strike zone. Was able to strike out Taglieri to end last inning.
Really good take there by Ethan Struthers.
Yeah, if I'm Struthers, remember Struthers' first at bat, away, everything away. This at bat, I'm looking middle in.
I mean, if I'm Struthers right now, I'm coming out of my shoes in this 3-1 count.
3-1 count. Let's see if he can barrel up something right here.
Oh, big swing. He definitely did come out of his shoes, like I said.
A big swing. I think that's his 4th swing now.
Tell you what, he's not afraid to get up there and take some hacks.
We shall see. Here comes the 3-2 pitch to Ethan Struthers. We have contact.
We have contact, boys. You can't count that one because he fouled it off. Attaboy, Ethan.
So we'll see if that doesn't give him a little bit of confidence for this 3-2 pitch.
And they throw him a 3-2 breaking ball for strike 3.
Good job once again by Mack and this Salem pitching staff. Although their numbers might not be great, they've certainly walked a lot of people, given up a lot of hits, but one thing they have done, they're not afraid to throw all-speed pitches in hitters' counts.
Absolutely. I think that's been their strategy this whole series, is to pitch a little backwards.
Yeah, and as a winning team, you're going to have to do that. You're going to have your pitchers be able to do that. And so they might be taking their lumps now, but I think this experience here playing North Greenville, I think it will pay off for them later in the year.
I agree. Brady West up to bat now with a 2-0 count. Again, a senior on senior days. Have himself a pretty good day. 2 for 4 with a couple walks, I believe.
And a couple of hits in game 2 yesterday. This one is tailing away from him, but almost split the heart of the plate, 2-1. I think he's really trying to get something to pull right here.
Yeah, I think he's definitely trying to do some damage. Good take there on a change up in the dirt, or turf, I should say.
Beautiful surface here. Very fortunate to have the first all-turf field right here.
The clouds are starting to open up and the sun is breaking through. We thought we were going to have a little bit of rain today, but it turned out to be quite the day here at North Greenville. Brady sends a drive to deep left center field, and it looks like that's going to get down, and it's going to one-hop the wall. Brady rounds first, and he's heading for second. He's going to hold there with a double off the left center field fence. Great swing there, Brady West. Have yourself a day.
And Brady West coming off a very frustrating series at Mount Olive where he did not perform the way he wanted to. Had a great game 2 yesterday and a very productive senior day here.
Dawson Price with his 3rd at-bat of the game. Hasn't had a chance to do much today as he has 2 walks. Let's see if they pitch to him here. Takes a curveball on the inside for a ball.
2 outs now for North Greenville. Big at bat right here for Dawson Price to see if he can't get his teammates.
Go ahead and take a look at that flag, Trey. Looks like it's blowing out to left quite a bit. Well, now that I look at it, I'm wrong. It's blowing right into our faces.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know if you were doing one of those broadcaster jinx again.
Well, this pole's kind of blocking my view. Had a bad angle. I apologize to all the viewers out there.
And Mac does not like what he sees there in this 2-0 count as he steps off the mound and gathers himself.
Again, Brady West, a guy you can't sleep on. He will steal third at any moment.
The 2-0 to Price misses up and in, 3-0. And
now, if I was a gambling man, I would bet my house on Dawson Price getting the 3-0 green light here.
We will see if you are correct. The 3-0 to Dawson Price.
Again, they're just not going to pitch to him, and I don't blame him as he has tons of power. Dawson with his third walk of the day.
Yeah, and of course you like the walk, but you also want to see a kid like that, especially on senior day, get a chance to swing the bat. He's had some pitches to hit today.
Absolutely.
But he hasn't capitalized, but he's drawn the walks. Certainly good for the team OPS, but we know that he would want to make contact. Tristan Hudson steps in, a base hit his last at bat, a guy with unlimited power and just an all-around very talented player, the closer for the Crusaders, but if he gets a hold of it, folks, he can crush the ball. Should be a good matchup for him. The 1-0 count. This ball is right there, fouled away. Mac must be putting a little extra on it, as it has been, other than Brady West, it's been hard for the hitters to square him up.
Would love to see Connor Driscoll get one more at bat on senior day.
Connor Driscoll is on deck. That pitch a little high. Looked like Hudson saw that ball extremely well, but chose not to pull the trigger. Instead, taking it high for a ball, and now he is in the driver's seat here. Runners on first and second here in the bottom of the 8th and a 2-1 count. Healthy hack from Tristan Hudson. Just missed it, fouled it back, and Ben Mack has a chance to get a scoreless inning for his Salem team.
Folks at home, start rubbing the brims of your cap. We got 2s all around the scoreboard. And it must have paid off. Pass ball here is going to go to a 3-2 count. Brady and Dawson Price are going to advance to third and second.
That's right. Give credit where credit is due.
Absolutely.
So the brim of the cap, if we had a camera in here, maybe you could show everyone exactly what you're talking to, but try to describe it for them.
Well, if your hat's facing forwards, you're going to want to take your index finger and your middle finger and just go back and forth on the brim of your hat.
And that only works in a two-ball, two-strike count with 2 outs, correct?
Correct.
This ball is hammered deep into right center field, and it is out of here. Tristan Hudson.
Trey, you were talking about his power earlier, and he got to showcase it right there. As he hits his first home run of the year for the Crusaders, a 3-run, 2-out bomb to right center field. That ball was smoked.
It's a really good at-bat, 2 really good at-bats, and North Greenville is firing on all cylinders. Great to see Tristan Hudson make the most of his opportunity here today as he dons the Crusader hat, and more importantly, gives the Crusaders a 20-2 lead here in the bottom of the 8th.
Not only does he hit a home run, but he keeps the inning alive for the senior Connor Driscoll to get another at-bat. And Connor wastes no time and pokes a line drive out to left field for a single. Great swing by Connor Driscoll. Well done, sir.
Connor Driscoll keeps the inning alive for a man that we have been talking a lot about this weekend, senior Trace Balknight. And I don't know if we can get a shot of the dugout, but this is where they will tip their caps.
Folks, the hats are off. They're pointing them at Trace. Wish you guys could see it.
And we will try to bring that to you. We're having a little bit of communication issues with the truck, but
well, the hats are back on now, Trey.
The hats are back on, and Trace Balknight is in the box. This one gets away from the new catcher in the game all the way into the dugout. Driscoll will be awarded second base only. Trace Balknight, a chance to do something special on a day where his family, his sister, his grandparents are here to see him. Comes the 1-0 pitch from Mack. Another good swing.
Just missed that one for Trace right there. Perfectly on time for a fastball, just a tad under it.
That middle away pitch down. Pretty good pitcher's pitch. Probably a strike. Puts a healthy swing on it.
I'll tell you what, the dynamic between Trace and Driscoll in the dugout is pretty electric. Would love to see Trace hit his brother Driscoll in.
That time he recognized the breaking ball. He stayed back, but just missed it. Mack, got to give credit to him. He has Balknight in a 1-2 count. Lots of phones recording this very special at bat here in the ballpark from the fans. And he stays alive.
Nice job by Trace. Really good pitch right there, and just gets enough of it to fight it and get to the next one. Like we say here, Trey, one pitch at a time.
That is how you have to treat it as a baseball player, good or bad. You are really only as good as that next pitch. Here comes the 1-2 once more, and Mack, bothered by Connor Driscoll out there, steps off, regroups. And Mack puts away Trace Balknight as he swung through that one to retire the side. But not before Tristan Hudson puts his stamp on this game with a big 3-run home run to right field as we head to the ninth. Here on Senior Day, North Greenville with a commanding 20-2 lead. We'll be back. And welcome back in as we are set to bring you home. And another pitcher for the Crusaders steps on the mound. This is Jared Lemke, another senior. The hits keep on coming for the Crusader offense, and the hits keep on coming for Senior Day as Jared Lemke gets a chance to show the world what he can do and finish out this series against Salem. Lemke has been at North Greenville for a long time, came here from Carolina Forest High School, has really good stuff.
Tell you what, the support for Jared Lemke is through the roof right now as the crowd goes crazy on the first pitch strike.
A lot of family and friends in attendance. As this ball is hit pretty well out to right field, and that is Andrew Kaminsky, who has been inserted into the game as a defensive replacement, making that play. You know, and we would be remiss if we did not mention the lone senior who participated in Senior Day but has not gotten a chance to play. That is Ryan Kirk. Ryan Kirk, a closer on this team before an injury set in.
Folks at home, if you take a look at the top of the screen on the live stream, you'll see Jared's family holding up two big heads of him. The incredible support from him, and just that's absolutely awesome right there.
Yes, indeed it is. Lemke, Greg and Carrie Lemke, his mother and father, here with him today. Graduated with a criminal justice degree. And like his pal Brady West, he wants to get into law enforcement.
How about that? Really good pitch there by Lemke, getting himself in a 1-2 count. Complete control out there.
Yes, and we do want to give a shout out to Ryan Kirk, a pitcher who was joined here today by his father and mother, Tim and Kim Kirk. We are certainly thinking about Ryan and his road to recovery, and we know that he has a bright future.
Absolutely.
Lemke does have a swing and miss slider, does have a swing and miss fastball at times, in a 2-strike count right here. This ball's chopped out to the sure-handed Driscoll, who skips it across to
How about that?
Brady West, who continues the stellar first base play and the tremendous fielding overall for North Greenville as a team as we take a look at it here. Break it down for us.
Well, we got a ground ball to shortstop that Driscoll does a good job getting his feet in the right position and fielding a short hop.
Would you have just gone ahead and skipped it right away, or would you have tried to hit him in the chest?
I would have tried to hit him in the chest, but, you know, Driscoll used the turf very well, and fellow senior Brady West scooped him up like an ice cream cone. Did pretty good over there at first. Kudos to you, the first base coach, Trey Dyson.
And let's enjoy Jared Lemke and all the seniors as he tries to bring us home and carry out the series sweep of Salem.
The fans are electric here in Tigerville as Jared Lemke has an 0-2 count here in the top of the ninth. Ground ball to third. Tristan Hudson fields it cleanly. And another great pick over there by senior Brady West to finish the day.
Just an all-around tremendous day for North Greenville. Senior day, lots of family and friends here to cheer the team and mostly the seniors, and a day that started brilliantly by Ethan Garner on the mound.
Absolutely.
Multiple pitchers, everyone getting a chance to play and make an impact in this game. I can tell you one thing, it was a pleasure to call, and it was certainly a pleasure to be with you, Utah.
Well, Trey, it's always a pleasure. You know, we just get along very well. Of course, Ethan Gardner with an incredible start today really got it going for these seniors, and I think everyone else just took off from there. What a great day here in Tigerville at Ray and B. Dillard Field. North Greenville wins it 20-2, and they sweep the weekend series against Salem. Thank you guys for tuning in. Trey, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much, and we would like to thank North Greenville President Dr. Gene Fant, the Athletics Director Jan McDonald, the production team, our director and producer Will, and everyone who made this broadcast possible. For Trey Dyson, for Utah Jones, I am Trey Dyson. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you on the next broadcast.